Good morning, all. Good morning, Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan. You're able to unmute?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mohan.
Sujata, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, Randev, good morning.
Okay.
Morning, Sujata. Can you hear me?
Yes, Mohan, I'm able to hear you now.
My video also.
Good morning, Viji. Yeah, your video is also fine, Mohan.
Okay.
You might want to turn the laptop a little lower so that your head is fully covered. Yeah. Yeah, this is fine now. Viji, are you there?
Vijayalakshmi is there, ma'am. I'm not sure.
No, but then that is not Viji, I think.
Yes, that's what.
Because I did make her co-host, but she is not.
Because it seems like student.
Is the stream going on fine? The live stream?
Yes, it's going on, ma'am.
Good morning, Almelu.
Good morning. Yeah, I could unmute. Yeah.
Morning, Alabelu.
Good morning. Oh, you're there. Good. I sent a message to Dr. Tangam and she thanked and said she'll be here on time. Who else? Vijay is there?
No, Vijay is not yet joined.
Okay.
Arun Dev is there.
Morning, Arun Dev. Have you seen him?
Yeah, morning, Alvaro, morning. Morning.
Morning.
PVM, yesterday he told me that he is fine, but
Okay,
he has tooth pain actually. So,
Okay. Has he joined?
not yet.
Okay. Just to say hello to him. The panelists have all come?
Ms. Rama Vaidyanathan was here. I don't know if she's still.
Yeah, I'm still here. But
Yeah.
Morning, Rama.
good morning. Good morning, Alamelu.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Rama. Mohan here.
Morning.
Hi.
Sujata ma'am, Vijay Lakshmi ma'am have logged in.
Good morning, Vijay.
I'm on.
Good morning, Vijay.
Morning.
Morning, Vijay.
Morning, Mohan.
Good morning, Raj Karunakaran sir from Ramco.
Good morning. Good morning.
Madam, good morning, madam. I am Professor Rajakarnaran from Ramco Institute of Technology, madam.
Good morning, sir. So you're
Good
able to
morning.
unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, madam. Yes, madam. Mute and unmute possibility is here, madam.
Yeah. So I'm just enabling it only to select few people who are part of the discussion today.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam.
You
Thank
can be on mute, sir, and unmute when it's your segment. Thank you.
Right, madam. Now I mute that provision.
And when you have to speak, you can unmute, sir.
Right, madam. Right, madam. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, I'm in a webinar. I'll call you after I finish. I call you. Yeah.
Good morning, Dr. Susan from MAMSIT.
Yes, ma'am. Very good morning.
Very good morning, ma'am. Welcome to the event.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mohan and Almelu, Dr. Susan is principal from MAMSIT.
Oh, good morning. Good morning. Oh,
So, Susan, good morning. Mohan here.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
so Susan, this is Alamelo. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Susan, this is morning.
Vijay, your audio, you might want to check.
I'm unmuted.
Yeah, I think you started talking while unmuting. So a part of it we were not able to hear.
Good morning, Susan.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, Mr. Muthusingaram.
Good morning, Mr. Sigaran. This is Alamelo.
Still muted.
Yeah.
No, his audio is still not set up.
Okay.
Lavna, I hope you are looking into the participants and alerting me.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's what I do. Marudhupandian sir have logged in, ma'am. Santana Marudhupandian sir.
What is it? Starts with S, is it?
Yes, yes, yes.
Professor Pandyan, good morning. Mohan here. If you are,
Not yet.
so you are letting him in.
Yeah. Professor Marudha Pandian, sir, good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. I'm here.
Morning, Professor Pandyan. Mohan here.
Good morning, sir.
Professor Abhijit also log in, ma'am.
Morning, Professor Abhijit.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Professor Abhijit.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, Professor.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, Professor.
Yeah, good morning to all of you.
Sir Muthu Singaram, sir, are you able to unmute yourself? Who else from the panel should be there, Lavna?
Raghunandan sir from NCRC and Professor Sankar and Professor Badri Narayanan from
Okay.
Yeah, I'm able to now. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Muthu.
Hi, how are you, Mohan?
Good.
Yeah, I'm able to unmute. So I have multiple screens here. So
Good morning, Muthu. This is Alamelo.
hi, how are you?
Good.
Long time no see. All good?
Yeah.
Very good, very good.
Yeah.
All our CSK people are with COVID, I believe.
Yeah.
But they're not giving the names, right? They're just saying half the teams are.
Yeah, see, 100 people have gone from here. See, I know that Vishwanathan, who is the TNCA secretary, and his wife is also known to us. She's down with COVID. And they're all there.
Oh, maybe that's how they got it.
I think they all would have got it. I think all have traveled together, which is a little funny, but
all these fellas, they will recover fast. They're all they must be pretty healthy. Anyway, they're going to be playing with no audience anyway.
they have a huge fan following.
I know, but they're not going to open the stadium anyway. So they might as well have played here and make the money here. So it's silly. Now the money goes out, right? All the sponsorship money.
Everything goes to United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, so it would have been just as well to let it play here and close the stadium.
They don't trust the hygiene here, maybe.
No, I think the authorities here didn't allow. Like, remember our Chennai stadium? The former chief minister had shut few of the stands, right? So like that. And they were losing revenue from those stands.
That is open now.
It is open now after her, but at that time they were losing so much money and they were not able to play many of the games here, right? And also when the Sri Lankan players were playing.
Oh, Viji, will you be having the presentation or should I show it for you?
Yeah, you can show it for me.
Okay. And Robin, if there are any more questions that have got added, can you send it to me over mail?
Yes, I will send it.
Yeah, just send the incremental ones. Don't repeat it, please.
Sujata ma'am, PVMs are allowed to.
Good morning, PVM.
Morning, Sujata. You can hear me?
Yes, PVM. Good morning.
Good
Hope
morning.
you're doing fine.
I was struggling a bit, but feeling a bit better this morning.
Good.
Morning, PVM. Take care. Alamelu.
Thank you very much.
Hi, PVM. Who says you are struggling?
Toothache is the worst thing which you can be cursed
Yeah,
with.
I agree.
I mean,
Your
any
whole
ache to
body
any
is
part is
constantly-
suffer. Yeah. As if you are welcoming a stomach pain. Huh? Any pain is.
Sorry?
I mean, when whatever be the pain, when we get it, it is too tough.
Yeah, stomach pain is also equally bad. I agree.
Exactly.
But the good thing about your tooth pain, it's not dangerous, right? It'll go away in a few days, not like stomach pain.
Everything has its own share of sorrows.
No, but that when you have a tooth pain, it's not a life and death matter, right?
Oh, no. Don't tell like that. We have the example of Manika Ramsamy, Dial Textiles.
Enache?
He went only for his root canal. I think we should not talk with PVM around when he is having toothache.
Good morning, Mr. Raghunandan sir from MCRC. Welcome to the event. You'll be able to unmute yourself.
Sorry, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Raghunandan. This is Alamelu.
Yeah, hi, Almelo.
Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
All the panelists probably want to check the video also. I saw Ms. Rama Vaidyanathan.
Yeah, I'm there, Alamelu.
Yeah, I saw your video. Raghunandan sir is fine.
Morning.
Abhijit is there.
Mr. Muthu Singaram sir, yes, yours is also good. Mohan is good.
Badri Narayanan is to come, no?
Professor Abhijit, it's fine. Thank you. He's there?
He was.
No, ma'am, he is not.
Badri Narayanan is there.
Oh, he has come. Okay.
Badri is here? Yes, okay.
Good morning, Dr. Badri Narayanan.
Good morning, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. Very well.
Yes.
Good morning, Badri.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
What, Professor Shankar, has he come in?
Professor Shankar is missing. I'm just searching for him.
How does one see everybody at the same time, please? I'm relatively new to Zoom on my computer because we were not allowed to use this.
Put it on the grid mode, sir.
On the grid mode, show grid video, you will be able to see.
How do I access that button?
There
The
is a
right
video.
top corner, sir.
Yeah.
Right top corner, you will have 9 tiles, 9 dots.
Side by side mode, is it? I don't have anything on the right side.
No, you have speaker view, gallery view.
There is
Right
a hide
side.
thumbnail video and show small active speaker video. The next one is
gallery view.
Gallery view, and then show grid view. If you do a grid view, you can see multiple. In fact, you can customize to say you want to see 25 participants or 49. Maximum is 49.
I see. But I don't know where this right side is actually. And I know where the right side is, but there's no thumbnail coming up.
You will see on the top corner. On the top corner.
Yeah, it's not there.
Also,
Okay.
given that there are 200 odd participants, I don't know whether or will we see only the panelists, quote unquote panelists in the video view? I mean,
I've requested all of them to turn off the video. So all the, other participants will be shown as a name, but the panel view alone can come with the pictures basically.
yeah. So, but even if we switch to that grid view, there are just so many participants that it may be anyway difficult to see.
No,
I think when you share
to customize it to see, you say 10 people, 10 of us from the pals and from the panel put together, all 10 of us will be in one screen together.
Okay.
Sujata, I just want to know, when you are sharing a screenshot, can I go to the gallery view?
No, during the screenshot, only the screen will come. If you want the speaker to come, you'll have to pin the video so that the speaker will become a one and the presentation becomes a smaller version.
Okay.
You can do alternate between pinning and unpinning basically.
Okay.
Mohan, it is 10:33. Do we get started?
Has Dr. Tangam?
We are waiting for Dr. Shankar from NEC.
And Dr. Tangam, she just wished me good morning.
One second, she's there.
Yeah.
One second. Lavna?
No, ma'am, she's not yet here. I couldn't find her.
She's typing. Just a minute, let me just see. Can you please forward the link to my mail ID? Oh, mail ID. Okay. Sure. She wants mail, the link to her mail ID. Let me.
Want Lavana to send it?
Lavana?
Yes, ma'am.
Chairperson at Radhalakshmi Nirkuma.
Okay.
EC details, Parma.
Your
EC details.
Yeah. I have to do that.
You have it?
Yeah. They have it.
Chairperson at Radhalakshmi Nirkuma.
Yeah, it is there. And Robin, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you please check with Dr. Shankar from NEC?
Yeah, I am doing it. I am doing it now.
As soon as you send the mail, tell me, I will inform them.
Professor Tangam, when she joins, we can start.
What is the total registration fee?
It was 420 as of 6 p.m. yesterday.
As of now, only 59 have joined.
No, 330.
Oh, 300. Oh, these are messages, I think. Okay.
Oh, you gave me a shock.
These are messages. Okay, so you got a good crowd actually.
Yeah, let us just wait for her to log in because she has asked for the details.
Robin can track Shankar offline because we have time till 11:15 for that.
Yeah.
I have tried.
We will just wait
He will join.
for her.
He will join.
He is joining. Okay.
I have called, but he is not picked up. Then I spoke to the EC member, and he is in turn will call.
Have you sent it to Chairperson ID? Lavana?
Yes, ma'am, I'm doing that. 1 minute, will set.
Okay.
Alamelu, you have her, you have the banner and the Zoom details. You can just forward it to her in WhatsApp also.
I have already sent it to her WhatsApp. Adu Netike Panni we shared. She wants it to her mail ID. Maybe her office may set up her Zoom account.
Okay, I actually sent it to her. Probably
we have sent it to her mail. We have already sent it,
ma'am. I have sent
it. Oh, yeah.
Tell her it will be from Lavana. Mr. Ganpa has joined, Mohan. He's saying a good morning to you.
Morning, Ganpa. Very nice to have you with us today.
Ma'am, Professor Shankar has joined. Dr. I. Shankar, NAC.
Good morning, Dr. Shankar.
Good morning, madam.
Good morning, sir.
Good
morning, Professor Shankar.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. Good morning. Very good morning.
Sir, Marudhu Pandian, sir, did we check your video? I don't remember. I'm not sure.
I'm checking. I think there is a problem connecting the link.
Okay, I'm seeing only your profile picture.
Yes. I'm trying.
Yeah.
Is Sujata madam is here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yourself. Just I received.
Yeah, this is Sujata. Yeah, I am Sujata,
yes,
sir.
yes, ma'am. Just I wanted to report that my arrival to you. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We are just waiting for the keynote speaker, Dr. Thangam Meghnadhan, to join.
Yeah.
Once she joins, we'll all start. Sorry for the delay.
Do you want to message her or call?
I'm just trying to reach her. I'll call her and see. Wait a minute.
Lavna and Robin, can you also check if Dr. Shekhar from Rajalakshmi is there? Or if Philip Praveen is there, Mr. Philip Praveen, one of them.
Dr. S. Shekhar is there, but I'm not sure he's from Rajalakshmi. Dr. S. Shekhar is there.
I gave her the number. Just check whether she has logged in.
Yet. Dr. Shekhar, are you able to unmute yourself, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am able to unmute.
Right, sir? You're like for.
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Rajalakshmi Engineering College, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So you can be on mute.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Viji, everybody for your segment is there.
Yes.
She has come. Unmute panuma.
The open.
Yeah.
I'm not able to see her. What is? Huh? Sorry, கட்டாச்சு என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
TM அப்படினு போட்டுருக்கு அவங்க நேம்ல இதுல.
Ma'am, TM cap.
TM.
TM.
தங்கம் மேகனாதன் TM னு போட்டு.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Got it?
Yeah. Good morning, Dr. Thangam Meghnadhan. Welcome, ma'am.
Good morning. Good morning.
You're able to get your video on, ma'am?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah.
I'll take it to some time.
Am I both visible and audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Welcome, ma'am.
But
Good morning, madam.
Why the gallery vision is not there? Yeah.
You got it?
Oh, Alamelu.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, morning.
So can we get started, Mohan and Almelu?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
So a warm good morning to all of you. Welcome to the 6th web series session of PALS, Cares and Shares. And the topic of the day is innovation-led entrepreneurship, the way forward. It gives us immense pleasure to welcome all of you for the event today. Before I proceed, I'll just give you a brief code of conduct on the virtual session today. I'm sure all of us are pretty used to the virtual sessions. Before that, my name is Sujata Sundaresan. And for any technical difficulties during the session today, you probably may have to contact me. The host name, I am in the Zoom name, PALS PGM. So if there are anything that you might want to chat with me or check with me, you can please do so. All of you will be on muted mode except for the panel members and the speakers of the day. Kindly do not turn on your video. Let the screen space be available for the panel members to be seen and visible. And the question, thank you for all the questions that we received during the registration time. We have noted all the questions and we are sure that we'll get all of it answered for you. But feel free to ask questions during the Q&A segment. You may want to type in your questions in the chat box. Few questions based on the time availability, we will definitely take it up by you raising your hand, and feel free to talk in any language of your, of course, the language that all of us understand. So with this, I hand it over and I welcome Ms. Almelu, PAL's governing member, to give the welcome and the context setting for the event. Thank you.
Thank you, Sujata. Respected Dr. Tanga Meghanathan, Chairperson, Rajalakshmi Group of Institutions. Our panel of experts from our alma mater IIT Madras, industry and partner institutes, management and faculty from our PALS colleges, alumni friends and well-wishers, and my dear students. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this PALS, Cares and Shares series. PALS, an education initiative of IIT alumni, is entering its 10th year of activities this year. What started as a series of motivational talks way back in 2012 has undergone a metamorphosis of change over the years, mainly through the demands and inputs from our partner institutes, and today has a bouquet of events running through one full academic year. Through these programs, PALS attempts to improve the quality of engineering education by addressing the needs of the management, faculty, and students of its partner institutes. The support we get from our parent institute, IIT Madras, and our friends and well-wishers from industry needs special mention here. And the recent change or addition brought in the calendar of PALS is this PALS, Cares and Shares series. PALS, Cares and Share series. This is a series of webinars to address important problems and challenges faced by our partner colleges, especially during COVID and lockdown period, as well as the new normal in the following months. We seek to bring experts whose advice would assist our colleges to take calculated decisions as well as give directions to PALS on how we can play a role to catalyze and assist. A typical example has been our webinar on virtual labs, which has resulted in a PALS NITK initiative to provide FDP program for 300 faculty, internship for 450 students, and an opportunity to create hundreds of new virtual lab experiments by our partner colleges. The activity is already on. The first 2 sessions of FDP is already over, and the third one is to take place shortly. I take this opportunity to request the PAs who are yet to avail of this opportunity to complete the formalities required so that you can be part of the next one, which is to happen very early. So in this series, we are today in the 6th one with the theme, Innovation-Led Entrepreneurship, the Way Forward. The theme was selected by my past team after careful thought and intense deliberations. Let me now recall the 20th century economist Joseph Schumpeter, who said, necessity may be the mother of invention, but it does not automatically produce innovation. He was probably hinting at a need for a third element. He goes on to say, indeed, an entrepreneur is someone who is willing and able to transform an invention into an innovation. And today, innovation and entrepreneurship are the two buzzwords, especially after the IT employment bubble. Students are motivated to be job creators rather than job seekers. They are encouraged to think bold, think big, and attempt at achieving things which were hitherto believed unachievable. Whatever part technology plays in a business enterprise, nothing can substitute the fundamental knowledge and set of skills an entrepreneur will need to be successful. These may be innate and just need some honing, or something new that must be learned. Towards this end, structured training, programs, and support are imparted by the experts in the field. And we have 3 such experts in our panel to share their insights as to how they identify, nurture, train, and improve these qualities among the faculty and students of our partner institutes. Welcome Professor Abhijit Deshpande, Professor in charge of ROOTAG IIT Madras, Mr. Raghunandan, CEO MCRC Murugappa Group, and Mr. Muthu Singaram, CEO HTIC Incubator IIT Madras. We have seen these 3 people in action with the faculty and students of our partner institutes. And so it is but obvious that they are here today to share their wisdom. And I have 4 more from our partner institutes who have received such inputs from these experts, worked on them thoroughly, and taken them to their students. Welcome, Dr. Badrinarayanan, Professor and Head, School of Management and IR, Hindustan University, Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan, Director R&D, Dr. MGR College of Engineering, Dr. I. Shankar, Coordinator ED National Engineering College, Kovilpatti, and Dr. Maruthu Pandian, Assistant Professor, Ramco Institute of Technology. Finally, a few words about our moderator, Mohan Narayanan. He is an acclaimed leader in the IT industry with over 3 decades of experience. He is currently the Director and CEO of Cubos Consultancy. Personally, I have great admiration for him for his astute mind, strategic thinking, and relationship building. Welcome all. With such stalwarts to talk to us, I am sure we are in for an engaging and interesting next few hours. So once again, a hearty welcome to each and every one of you. So, with these words, let us start the program by listening to our keynote speaker, Dr. Thangam Meghanathan. She is a chairperson of Rajalakshmi Group of Institutions. The group was started with just 1 college in 1997, and today it has more than half a dozen institutions under its umbrella. And Dr. Thangam Meghanathan's contribution towards this growth is phenomenal. She has more than 2 decades of experience in the field of educational administration. As chairperson of Rajalakshmi Group of Institutions, her prime aim has been in ensuring quality education in all the institutions. The institutions offer merit scholarships to deserving students, organize several programs to promote science education at school level, and career guidance programs for these students also. Equally great had been their contribution in building educational excellence, professional perfection, and comprehensive molding of the students who enter their colleges. Dr. Thangam Meghanathan pursued her graduation and post-graduation in public administration in Madras Christian College, Chennai. Her research interests continued, and in 2005, she received her PhD from Madras University for her thesis titled Technical Education in Tamil Nadu, a Study. Her commitment to ensure quality teaching in institutions of higher learning prompted her to pursue Cambridge International Diploma for Teachers and Trainers in 2006. Her journey continued with unstinted enthusiasm and commitment, and she is now the Vice Chairperson of CII Chennai Zone. Welcome, Dr. Tanga Meghanathan. Looking forward to listening to you, madam. The stage is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Almelu.
Thank you.
It's a great pleasure to be a part of this event. I have always, now I think I'm definitely missing not coming into the IIT campus, because every meeting of yours used to be always in that IIT beautiful campus, but I'm missing that opportunity of visiting your campus. But it's a lovely thing. It's an excellent initiative taken in 2012 and being very well organized by a team of people, including Dr. Almelu, Dr. Narayanan, and everybody. See, this is all about, like, there is a source, and this source, when it is really good, like, IIT there is the main source of technical education in the country, and this should definitely percolate through the nation for every desiring youngster who is interested in pursuing or in indulging in technology. So that way, I think this PALS initiative is a wonderful one, and today's innovative enterprises is very timely too, because we are going through this very difficult times of this pandemic, with people really wondering about how to balance life and livelihood. We definitely look for a lot of innovative thoughts on how to balance these two very important things. Life without livelihood and livelihood without life, both are not good. So that way, like, I think innovations is something that needs to be encouraged. And let me just start with this thing called innovation. Innovation, we say, we can just describe it as an idea or a method or a device or something that is whatever we are performing, a better way to perform, wherein it saves on cost or time, ideally both. That's what I tell my students. Whenever they come out with an idea, I always tell them, please make sure that your innovation is saving on time or cost. Otherwise, it's not going to have a value. Ideally, both will have a better value. Today time is money, and cost reduction is something that is so. Innovation is something that that actually starts in the school level. I would say innovative mindset needs to be nurtured and taken care of at the school level, where the young minds, when they are being taught some the very basics of science or mathematics, numbers, they should be given this choice to think why not. Because this question about why always, am I audible, Almelu?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Yeah. So this quest about why comes at very young age for a lot of kids. But in the classrooms, are we nurturing such curious mind is something that is really questionable, because we are today facing the scenario of mass education. All right, mass education does not mean lose out on the very important aspect of learning and helping the society around or prospering out of this learning. Like we said, learning is very important. What you learn should be of some use to the society, and there is nothing wrong in making wealth out of what knowledge you have, but that wealth you make should go back to very useful purposes. This is what is said in one of the Sanskrit slokas. So when kids in school, young minds, if they are nurtured, if they are told, okay, think freely, come out with your doubts, let's discuss. I don't want you to accept Newton's theory. I don't want you to accept whatever big theories that are being made by heart by you or taught by you by me. I would like you to let me know why you differ, how you differ, because you can come out with something really wonderful. So let them have this choice, because we normally in schools, particularly young children, are having a lot of complex in coming out with different thinking, because they are scared of being laughed at, they are scared of being a little bit admonished, you know. So give them that freeness in the school to think freely and think about and debate about why nots. This will definitely lead to innovative mindset, because you cannot bring in an innovative mindset at age uh, 18 upwards. You know, innovation is something, innovative, curious thinking is something that comes from a very young age. And of course, in higher education institutions, we can always nurture, or we can take forward the innovative ideas that they have into incubations. That is where the enterprises come, because innovative enterprises is what today we are going to talk about and deliberate on. And innovative mindset, and that leads to incubations that are supported by um, campuses, leading campuses such as IITs, and other autonomous institutions and universities. You know, wherever there is freedom of thinking, wherever there is a sort of a focus and some sort of a help in terms of both physical and the mental mentoring, as well as little things that they require, probably a small laboratory or a, you know, a library where they can go and check out on what they are thinking, and people to discuss with. So these kind of atmosphere will help them to take forward their innovations, and incubating the idea. It is a very, very big thing, you know, incubating, because industry is all busy with their, I mean, they cannot entertain something that may or may not be. Okay. Very big companies, they have very big corporates, they have their own R&D facilities, but largely, universally, innovations happen in higher education campuses. That is where the young mind, particularly innovation is particularly age specific, between age group 15 to 32, I would say. Beyond that, I think people start accepting, and then, you know, they sort of resign to the fact that they have a life that they want to just follow with, kind of a. So this age group that are in higher education campuses are always very, very, very curious and interested in implementing new ideas. So give them the opportunity, provide them all the facilities so that they can incubate their idea and groom it to a certain extent, wherein the industry will come in to look into the idea, and once they feel that this idea can be taken forward, then this idea has made it. So this is a connect, I would say, from school, the higher education institutions, and on to the industry. So innovative industries are there are plenty of examples. We can just, in our own lifetime, we can just sit and wonder, why are we not listening to transistors? Why are we not listening to audio tapes? Why are we not listening to video tapes? Why is it all become internet today? No, television sets are becoming obsolete. So I mean, it took longer time for a thing to become obsolete a little earlier, but today it takes very short time. So you have to be very, very careful in deciding on what you want to manufacture, and your innovation, your incubation, your idea, how it can sort of take care of the entry barriers. You know, your innovation and your idea should live for some time. Your innovative idea should get built on, not just go away in a few months or something like that. So I would say today I'm also very, very curious to sit and listen to the panel speakers on this innovative enterprises, because today we know we've been seeing these 4 5 months we have managed to live with sanity because of technology. This is something that nobody can deny, because but for technology, what would have happened? We've continued with all our meetings, continued with our learning, continued with our healthcare, continued with our governing. Everything has happened with technology online. But for this, I don't know what would have happened. Just imagine the pandemic without being able to even connect, you know. So that way, like, I would just end my keynote with just one small highlight. Like, you know, we are known for innovations, and one small example I always like to quote is this missed call innovation. When we were struggling in the 80s, for want of telephones. The telephone communication was a very, very difficult thing in the 80s and 90s. And thanks to Sam Petroda and earlier Prime Minister, late Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi and others, they brought in this communication revolution. And then, of course, there was no stopping. And then we've got this cell phone, and there is nobody who doesn't have a connectivity today. Communication in revolution is leapfrog in the country. And missed call is something that is very original to India. People used to laugh, like, you know, oh my, how do you people, you know, when somebody doesn't want to, those days it used to cost. Not rates are not like what it is today. So it used to cost quite a bit to make a call, even on a cell phone. So people used to give a missed call to tell that they have come to the venue. So this was one innovation that has been taken forward. Today, a lot of marketing is happening. There is something called missed call marketing. You know, when a missed call comes, then if it is entertained, then it is taken forward, and then, you know, the product is being, you know, further provided to the desirous clients. So this is one small thing that I would like to share, because our people really know how to take a positive advantage of a situation and innovate. Innovation is in our blood, definitely, but let us not get our youngsters to think that learning is all what is given in the books, and only what is being evaluated during examination. That is also important part of learning, but learning is all about free thinking, the ability to think of an idea and put it together and make it a business plan, and incubate the idea and take it forward to the industry. With these words, let me thank the team for giving me the opportunity to connect through these pals, and my best wishes for today's event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Thangam Meghanathan, for your wonderful thoughts on this topic. And just like you, I think all of us are also missing the IIT campus. Although I live away from Chennai, at least once in 3 months, I used to go get refreshed by the trees and, you know, get some beautiful thoughts while in the campus. And I think we are missing all that. We should find out some technology, you know, to give us an the augmentation techniques I think we should use to create a campus around us wherever we live. So that comes very close to our hearts. I'm Vijay Lakshmi. I'm the champion for Root Tag and an alumnus of IIT Madras from 1985. Few points that I would really like to take from your speech. You said innovation is underpinned by better way to perform. I think that's very, very critical. In a situation where we do have economic challenges, we have social challenges, anybody who looks at a project and who calls it innovative should answer this question. Is this a better way of performing? I think that's a very important statement for anybody who is looking at something new. Another point that which I also like is, you know, differ from the rules, break the rules, why nots, you know. So all students and faculty, you know, should look at why nots. I'm sure, you know, we are all governed by certain academic protocol, but still, why not? You know, that's very, very important, because That freedom of thinking, as you said, I think comes only in the younger ages. And after 30, 32, as you mentioned, most of us lose, I mean, we don't desire to lose the freedom, but it just automatically goes out of us, the freedom of thinking. Another important point from your speech was obsolescence. So any technology today, just goes obsolete very, very quickly, very, very quickly. So anybody who is looking at projects or new products have to be very sure how this product is going to adopt itself to changing technologies. We all know the technology horizons for the next 5 years or 6 years. So how will this, adapt itself? Or how are we going to, go for another version of the product or a totally new technology? And the last thing is, of course, your miscalled marketing. I've heard a lot of my friends, from other countries, probably teasing us about the miscalls in India. But I never realized there's something called miscall marketing. So I think that's the way Indians, use a certain aspect to get on with whatever they have. Thank you so much, Dr. Tangam, for your wonderful words. I also like to take this opportunity as a ROOTAG champion to symbolically transfer the funds for the ROOTAG projects that were selected last year. Sujata, probably can we have the slide?
You're able to see the screen?
Yes, I'm able to. Next slide. Yeah, so we have, in January 2020, we had the proposal workshop where all our partner institutions participated. And after a rigorous screening process, 3 colleges were selected, 3 college projects were selected. All these are rural and agriculture-oriented projects. And all the 3 colleges have a lot of enthusiasm in terms of continuing this, taking on this project, starting off this project. And I'm sure the 3 coordinators are here. And I'm sure they will take the inputs from this workshop also while they are developing these projects. We had a lot of participation, but only 3 were approved. And I think these 3 projects were finalized in the month of May 2020. So we have further organized for the transfer of funds. And these 3 colleges will be funded for aspects like purchase of components, fabrication of the machineries that they are planning. The colleges themselves are supporting in terms of the student availability and a lot of incidental expenses and some amount of consumable expenses. So next slide, Sujata. I would like, the funding this year has come from PALS, from IITM Alumni Charitable Trust. I would like Almelu to say a few words to the 3 colleges before they receive the funds.
Thank you, Vijay. I am now appearing before you as the Secretary of the IIT Alumni Charitable Trust. When PALS volunteers approached us with a request to fund the 3 colleges who had been shortlisted for the ROOTAG project, I don't think we ever had any discussion or second thoughts. Reasons were a few. Number 1, the recommendation is from a reliable group of IIT alumni who are sincere and dedicated to the cause that they are pursuing. The project is shortlisted and well monitored and will be monitored by ROOTAG, a part of IIT Madras under Professor Abhijit Deshpande, and there is no reason we should fear how the money will be used. Third one, the recipients are from colleges with hardworking and sincere faculty, motivated students, and proactive management. So what else should we expect before we fund such projects? And we were doubly happy when we learned that of the 3 colleges, 2 are from outside Chennai. So it gives a reason, it makes us happy to feel that IIT Madras, through its alumni and alumni of other IITs, are able to reach out to colleges, not just in Chennai or in metropolitan cities, but outside the cities also. Made us extremely happy to be able to participate and be of some assistance in this noble activity. Thank you, Pals, for giving us an opportunity. Wish you all the best in all your activities. Thank you.
Thanks, Alamelu. Next slide, Sujata. So the 3 beneficiaries, Rajalakshmi institutions, MAM College of Engineering and Technology, and Ramco Institute of Technology. So IITM ACT has funded 5,25,000 rupees for this for these 3 projects. Next, Sujata. Rajalakshmi institutions, the project selected from Rajalakshmi is design and development of low-cost solar dryers for vegetables and fruits for rural applications. Is Dr. Philip on the call?
No, I don't think so, Vijay.
Okay.
He's out of town, Mark. He's gone to Delhi.
Okay, fine. I would like Dr. Shekhar, the principal investigator from Rajalakshmi, to say a few words about this project.
Looks like Shekhar is also had a power cut and he's out.
Ma'am, can you check that Dr. Yash Shekhar?
Dr. Chandrasekhar is there. He's the other person who is involved in this project.
Yeah.
Is Chandrasekhar of Rajalakshmi there?
Yes, ma'am, Chandrasekhar is there.
No, Dr. Shekhar put a message, unmute me. Dr.
Wait.
Shekhar.
1 second. I'm not able to see.
Yeah.
Dr. S-C-K-S-T, his spelling. Dr. S. Shekhar.
Okay. Sir, you'll be able to unmute yourself, sir. Dr. Shekhar.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
I'm Dr. Shekhar from Rajalakshmi Engineering College.
You're audible, sir. Go ahead.
Please, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. See, this project is a design and development of low-cost solar dryers, which is based on greenhouse principle for drying vegetables and fruits to help the farmers in rural areas to make value-added products from their agricultural harvest. This will lead to the development of new product for drying, which can be used for rural farmers for producing good products from their agricultural turnout. This project I have obtained from PALS RUTEC. I thank our chairperson, ma'am, vice chairman, sir, of Rajalakshmi Engineering College, PALS, Vijayalakshmi, ma'am, RUTEC, Professor Abhijit, sir, for this great opportunity. I assure that I will complete this project within the given time and I will complete it successfully. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar. Next slide, Sujata. Yeah, the next project is from MAM College of Engineering Technology. This is relating to the automatic grading machine for food grains. They are starting with a specific variety of rice now to pilot their project. Dr. Susan?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Thank you, ma'am. Very pleasant morning to all present here. On behalf of MAMSET, I would like to express my sincere thanks to RUTEC IIT Madras for funding our project implementation of an accurate automatic grading machine through PALS. We consider it to be our honor. We would like to extend a special thanks to Mrs. Vijayalakshmi Shankar, PALS core team member, to her guidance and support as the PALS representative for RUTAC. Our sincere thanks to Professor Abhijit Deshpande, Professor in charge RUTAC, IIT Madras, for sanctioning the funding for the project. Today's world is the world of technology and science. Automation is everywhere and anywhere. Due to automation, our life has become fast and easy. Rice is one of the most common source of food consumed in large part of the world. With the improving living standard of people, a large amount of rice with high quality is required today. And therefore, we are proposing a system for farmers and industry. The aim of our project is to remove the impurities such as stone and sand from the rice automatically, so that we can avoid the manual process like hand picking and sieving, so that the quality of the rice will be improved and the time consumption for sorting of the impurities from the rice will be reduced. We believe this project will be very helpful to the agriculture field, and we hope we will continue to contribute towards the rural technology development through the implementation of this project and many more in future. Thank you once again for all the juries and supporters. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Susan. Sujata, next slide. Ramco Institute of Technology, and their product is for design and fabrication of groundnut pod separator. Dr. Rajakarunakaran?
Am I audible, madam?
Yes, you are.
Good morning to all. On behalf of Ramco Institute of Technology and my project team, I sincerely thank entire IIT Pulse team and RUTAC project team and the review committee members of RUTAC projects for shortlisting our project for funding. So our project title is Design and Fabrication of Groundnut Pod Separator, and my team members are Dr. P. Suresh Kumar, Associate Professor, Ramco Institute of Technology, and Mr. S. Maharajan, Assistant Professor, Senior Grade of Ramco Institute of Technology. Student members are Mr. Chandru, Mohammad Ashraf, and Abhi Bharat Vikram Aukash from third year Mechanical Engineering. So on this occasion, I wish to present brief details about our project. We all know world is mostly concentrating on new innovations and running with updated technology. Farmers are backbone for every country in the world. Without farmers, livelihood is very difficult. Based on the literature review and our personal visits and interactions with the farmers in and around our college, we observed and we found the following things. First one is, in India, groundnuts are cultivating on both the small scale as well as the large scale by the farmers. The major problem encountered with the cultivation of groundnut is the lack of appropriate devices for farmers to separate groundnut part from the car and separation of a cell from the car. So this is the first problem. Second one is, in the present scenario, small farmers spending more amount of that is time and money for this task due to lack of appropriate cost-effective devices. Third issue, in southern districts of Tamil Nadu, cultivation of a groundnut part is a seasonal one. So the quality of groundnut yield is mainly depends on the lead time of harvesting. So to overcome this above problems and issues, we formulated the objective of our project as to design and develop an automated device for separation of groundnut part from the crop and the separation of cells from the pod. So the major project outcomes are cost-effective and user-friendly device for the separation of groundnut pod from the car and the separation of shell from the pod. And in addition to the tangible outcome, the other outcomes are generation of technical publications in journals and conferences with patent filings. So once again, I sincerely thanks for giving this opportunity to present our brief details of our project. So on this occasion, once again, I thank you for giving the project grant for this project. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Rajakarunakaran. I would like to sincerely thank RUTAG for facilitating PALS with with our ability to bring on colleges with these projects. And the topic today is also very, very relevant. And unless we let projects or support projects, a lot of projects from colleges, innovation cannot grow. So I would like to thank RUTAG, and I now request Professor Abhijit to say a few words to all the three colleges and the audience in general.
Hello, good morning to one and everyone. At this point, I think the highlighting point that we can notice is the interdisciplinary nature of all of the products and designs that these colleges are attempting. The other key ingredient in looking at such a proposal is what's called customer discovery. So all of these projects initially went about trying to discover, what may be a good set of things to try initially. And so in both invention and innovation, this initial thought process is very important. So at this point, keeping these two in mind, I wish good success to all these investigators. And we will be there, both PALS and RUTAG will be there always in terms of sorting out any difficulties you are facing or any challenges that are there, as well as any scale up or other opportunities that are present. So we are there with you. So contact us whenever and whenever you have a chance. And of course, we will be reviewing the project technically throughout so that we can achieve the targets that are envisioned in the project. So all the best to faculty and students of these projects, and also all the others to aspire for such projects so that we can all become part of innovation enterprise for future. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Abhijit. To the colleges, we will soon be starting with the projects in discussions with RUTAG. And thank you for this session. And I hand over now to Mohan for taking over the rest of the session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vijay. Just wanted to, I was reading Times of India this morning, and the headlines is about the record Kharif crop likely this year because of, the lack of influence of COVID in the rural sector. So it looks like that we probably have the first ever opportunity of rural India, or Bharat as we call, to take the lead for innovation and growth for the country in the future. So with that, we'll quickly get into the panel. If all of you can hear me and if all the panelists can unmute themselves. The panelists have been introduced, so I'm going to skip that portion just to save time. But just to put some pressure on the panelists, I'm going to just throw some data. Now, innovation, of course, there are various ways of measuring. And of course, there is no one right measure, but we look at some tangible outcomes, as Professor Abhijit Deshpande was saying. And one of the outcomes can be slightly debatable, but it's measurable. That is a number of patents filed, right? So I picked up the data for 2019 across different countries in terms of the patents filed. So India has filed 2,053 patent applications. And we are of course low down. The highest number of patents have been filed, of course, no prizes for guessing. China has 59,000 patents filed. United States has 58,000 patent files, and followed by Japan with 52,000 odd, and then Germany and Korea following with about 22 and 21,000 patents filed. Now, there are two ways of looking at it. One is saying, look, we are way down. But then the positive way of looking at it is we have a tremendous and beautiful open road in front of us to reach where others have already reached and even surpassed them. But of course, the answers to these questions, I'm going to throw it to the panelists and challenge them on that. I also want to throw some data in terms of the number of companies that have filed. Ironically, while India filed for 2,053 patents, a company which is now known for all the good and the bad, Huawei, they have filed 4,500 patents. And then followed by Mitsubishi, which is about 4,000 patents. And then Samsung following, Samsung and GE, which are at about 2,500 patents. Now, so that we have quite a bit to catch up. Even the university data is pretty interesting. Out of the 2,000 patents filed by India, about 125 apparently came from the education institutions. Predominantly 3 of them, IIT, CSIR, and Indian Institute of Science. And compare that with University of California, while all the education institutions in India threw up 125 patents, University of California threw up 4,000 patents. Odd. I mean, I'm just approximating the numbers for easy reading. So, I mean, it is not gloom and doom. What I mean is we have been late stage innovators in this. Others had much an earlier start. So, but of course, now the ground runs very fast. So we have a tremendous opportunity. But to answer these questions, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw this question at everyone and then have each of them respond with how their innovation centers, incubation centers are gearing up for what appears to be a very interesting challenge. So to start with, so we have 3 or 4 groups of professors and industrialists here. To start with, I'm going to push the mic to Mr. Raghunandan, who's the CEO of Murugappa Chettiar Research Center, which is the innovation center promoted by the AMM Trust. It's a CSR-run institution. Raghunandan, of course, comes with a lot of experience. So I want to ask you, Sir Raghu, in terms of where do you see MCRC coping up with this kind of absolute clear roadmap laid out in front of you? How do you see industry backing up initiatives from the research center? And what kind of roadmap do you see for yourself? And what kind of support that you need from the government? So if you can start off with that and then, give an introduction, then I will toss it out to the other panelists.
Good morning. Thank you very much. Am I audible to all?
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay. So actually, it's a very interesting question that you have posed here, because I actually, probably because of MCRC and Murugappa Group, wear 2 hats today. From the CSR and the rural technology part, RUTAG kind of work, I look after MCRC, which is a 40-year-old organization. We actually believe in open source technology. We patent, if at all, any of our discoveries only to ensure that other people, commercial entities, do not come and stop us from doing the good work that we would like to do. We make almost all our technologies freely available to the farmers and the rural poor and the less privileged people. We do not try to monetize our IP rights. We try and give it away, especially to the social sector, social development, and so on. From the perspective of the industry, where there are about 20 odd companies that we run, which we have, where we are clearly profit driven. We do have our own research centers, but we also partner and attempt to partner with as many good institutions as we have, because these become the generators of new ideas, young manpower, good quality thinking, and future, therefore, business employees and then later business leaders. The role of a business, we should understand, as Peter Drucker said, is to create customers. And in that sense, any idea, any innovation which generates patents or in any intellectual property is valuable because it kind of brings up something new that somebody will need as the world changes itself. So consumers actually drive and demand more and more. As the keynote speaker said, time and money and costs are important productivity factors. And as aspirations of people change and socio-economic development happens, we need new ideas. So on both sides, we see the virtue on one side with respect to the patenting issues, the intellectual property, but we still think we can license large parts of it. And we sometimes think that lots of these patents are very early stage ideas and are far away from becoming commercialized. Now, that is one part of the story as far as our companies are concerned. On the CSR end, MCRC is what we try to do because I think companies do R&D for their own benefit, ultimately for their shareholder, their stakeholders. But there is another part that we need to do, which is the socio-economic development, the social development. And for that, MCRC, like organizations, kind of participate very keenly with institutions, with young interns, with bright ideas, so that those are then converted into some business opportunity for the underprivileged or even the local entrepreneur whose aims and aspirations are not gigantic. But at a local level, he's still doing something very good and therefore serves a large part of the local population. And that is something that we have been propounding for a very long time. And this has been going on in MCRC for 40 odd years. We belong and we work closely with RUTAC like people. Dr. Abhijit is here. He will tell you that we've been here. We also work with PALs and so on. But I think there is a significant crossover between these two kinds of areas. People today in the private sector are participating more and more in many parts of the governmental organizations or the public sector organizations. PALS is itself an example. All of the PALS people are highly educated, highly successful, highly motivated people who are now contributing back to the society. And in that sense, they are funding good ideas. They are funding entrepreneurs in a sense. Similarly, if you look at the old schemes we used to have, we used to call it industry, academy, interactions. It has now become incubation centers, innovation centers. Funding from the private sector is very large compared to what the government does in these centers, both in terms of time and in money. If you look at CSAR, DST, DBT, also their insistence now, the government understands that we cannot treat private sector and government as two different parts as we respond to the world's needs. And I think places like the pandemic, the SDGs, and so on are going to be great opportunities going forward. More interaction, more collaboration, more multidisciplinary work, interdependencies will increase. So I'm open to the idea that intellectual property and patenting is important, but it's not the end all of life. So that's how we see it most of the time within our group.
Thank you, Raghu. That was a good defense, actually. So thank you for that. We'll come back to you, Raghu, but just to move on, IIT Madras, of course, has been a major leader in innovation and entrepreneurship and incubation. And there are two aspects to the IIT incubation system, which I want to highlight today. There is this healthcare technology incubator. And, these days, there are three things that are going to lead and be in the forefront with respect to innovation and opportunities: health tech, HR tech, and fintech. Now, what we have, HTIC and IIT Madras, has been a forerunner in the area of, obviously, health technology. So to talk about what they do and how do they see the future going for them and how they will contribute back to the young entrepreneurs, I would like my good friend, Muthu Singaram, the CEO of HTIC, to take the stage.
I thank you, Mohan, and the PALS team. I don't want to put the video on because I'm having bad connection with my act. That's why I've cut it off. It's keep on cutting. Okay, so I'll do it later. So thank you, Mohan, and the PALS team for having me on the call. Obviously, at this time and moment, health tech is happening because of the pandemic and so on, and also a good number of probably about 60% of Indians don't even get primary health care. So obviously, healthcare is an area we need to work on. Now, the things which are important here is not only affordability, it should also be accessibility. And I think that's where a lot of times we are missing out. It's not only about the pricing, it should be able to access these services. Now at HTIC, we are quite fortunate because we have two parts to it. One is the research part and the other is the incubator. At the research part, we do commercial research where organizations like GE and so on pay us to do the research. Now it's also one of the very few places it's actually been very successful, starting off with 50 lakhs. The original funding from DBT was 50 lakhs for the center and 50 lakhs from IIT Madras. So we have now done fairly well. And we are pretty much, most of the running there is done through the research work we do. Because of that, BioRack further funded us to do the incubator, as you are aware, about 4 years ago. And the incubator started about 2 years ago. We have about 25 startups working in areas of different parts of healthcare. We are more into instrumentation. We are not into the pharma part. So most of these startups are working on not necessarily new things, but they're making things affordable and accessible to the masses. So that's kind of thing we are working on. And there's a lot of work also done in assistive technology to help people, use certain devices to help them lead a better life. So I think that's good. And recently, and I think I need to connect with Abhijit as well, we've just started a center for social entrepreneurship. So Government of India is funding that over the next 36 months. First 18 months, we'll be doing childcare and maternal care. So we have 5 fellows who are paid 50,000 rupees every month, and they're given a 5 lakh, what do you call it, like a seed grant for them to get started. So they've just started in August, and they're working on how to help rural and sort of outside the city, how to help these mothers and babies with their problems. Now, after this 18 months, the next 18 months, we're working on aging. So these are a couple of activities where we started doing. So primarily it's trying to get into the community to help the community. And also, I've said this before in the past to PALS as well, any of the colleges require support using our incubator. We are more than happy to look at it as long as we follow the IIT selection criteria and usage criteria. We have no issues. Out of the 25 companies we have right now, 18 of them are not anyway related to IIT. They're neither students or faculty. Only 7 of them are IIT. So we're actually open to taking anyone who comes with a good solution. So I hope that gives a little bit background of what we do, and I'm happy to talk about specific projects. I can talk about the surgical unit, which we have designed and developed with 2 buses. We convert the 2 buses into a theater, and it drives out to rural areas and does surgery. Now, our problem is not getting money to fund those projects. Our problem right now is we're not able to get surgeons who will do the surgery because they have to go and be parked out for 2 to 3 months. So those are some of the things we have challenges we have. And another one is we have done is for a startup to do eye care, where it will help initial screening and also help especially babies who are preterm from going blind, because many of the preterm babies, 90% of them, the retina is not developed. So this device actually helps them to identify this, and NITI Aayog has actually adopted that and they're trying to use it. So we'll have to see how that goes. So these are some of the activities the center does. So I'm happy to answer any specific questions more.
Thank you, Muthu. Obviously, IIT Incubation Cell is ahead in the pack. And I want to go to Abhijit Deshpande, and of course, we heard him earlier. By the way, RUTAG, for those of you who do not know, RUTAG stands for Rural Technology Action Group. It's an initiative from IIT Madras, supported by, I think, DST or Department of Scientific Research, to promote rural technology for rural issues and problems. So to talk about what RUTAG does, we know about it because we are partners with them in as pals. To talk about what RUTAG does and how our colleges and even other citizens can make the best use of what RUTAG offers, I would extend the floor to Abhijit Deshpande. Good, Professor. Thank you if you're there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Mohan. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
So again, good morning and welcome to all of you. RUTAG, Rural Technology Action Group, was started with the key idea that there are several needs that are felt and there is a thirst for technology solution in rural areas. And most of these technology solutions are sought to improve efficiency, to improve livelihood, to reduce drudgery. So there are so many different aspects in which a technology solution can help satisfy this thirst for technology solutions. So the question, sitting in an academic institution, can our faculty and students work towards finding these technology solutions? So the model that RUTAG follows is based on the need identification and then solution from faculty and students. So that's a specific model that we have been working with over the last 10 years. The funding for RUTAG comes from the principal scientific advisor, who is the basically country's top. It's the body which makes the topmost scientific policy decisions regarding the nation and is directly advising the cabinet also. So from that office, we get the funding, and our idea is to catalyze research and development by students and faculty towards some of the key problems that are out there. And knowing our experience, if we look at, let's say, last 15 years of our presence, the needs that have been identified probably run into 1,000. So that are the kind of problems that whenever we talk to any stakeholders in rural or peri-urban areas, we have thousands of problems that we have come across. RUTAG over the last so many years has worked and initiated about 60 odd projects, out of which let's say about 25 we were able to successfully reach the prototype and some demonstration stage. Out of these 25, about 10 we were able to actually go to the implementation in the field stage. And there are 3-4 in which we were actually able to go to the dissemination stage, where we set up, let's say, a common facility center where the overall larger community can come and use the technology solution, or 200 or 500 of the prototypes were disseminated to the users. So that's the number. And as we are discussing today in terms of, invention, innovation, entrepreneurship, we should keep in mind that for every initiative that we take, there will be failures and there will be learning from those. And so it's the process which we also have to keep in mind. And so with this, right now, I will close. It gives you an idea of the kind of projects that we do are related to livelihood. For example, making an oil expeller. The 3 projects that you saw from RUTAG PALS projects also give you the agricultural domain. We have a lot of work related to textiles in Khadi sector. So there, it depends on all aspects of rural livelihoods. We aspire to provide technology solutions with the help of faculty and students. And through initiatives such as this, we also reach out to other institutions. So out of, let's say, the 60-70 projects that I talked about, at least 25 to 30 projects were with non-IIT Madras faculty and students. So therefore, we try to reach out to those faculty and students, whoever are the best suited to provide the solutions where need has been identified. So I'll be, again, happy to expand on some of these later on. So I transfer it back to you, Mohan.
Thank you, Abhijit. So before we go to Rama, so just, rephrase whatever we have heard so far. Now, what is common to MCRC, STIC, or a RUTAG keep in mind that the target is not necessarily IIT students and IIT faculty. It's open to them, but it's open to a lot of others as well. And they are funded, like MCRC funded by a trust. And then of course, IIT both funded by different government agencies and the central government and other bodies. Now, just to shift gears, now, we have amongst us two what we call as deemed universities, right? The autonomous institutions who have their own profit and loss in that sense. So we have selected two from our partner institute who are doing immense work in the area of innovation and entrepreneurship. So one is, of course, MGR University, and the other is HITS, Hindustan Institute of Technology. So to give us a perspective of how they are, driving their entrepreneurial activities, and of course, more importantly, how they are driving innovation among their student and faculty. I'll start with Rama. So Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan, who is the head of R&D at MGR University. So she is here with us. So over to you, Rama, and we would like to hear your perspectives of how MGR University is taking up this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Mohan. I run a center called Abdul Kalam Center of Excellence in Innovation and Entrepreneurship. We set this up back in 2016. So we offer entrepreneurship education as a small certificate modules, and then we shifted to a full-fledged course, which Vadhwani Foundation has been helping us. So right now we have a pre-incubator funded by the Department of Science and Technologies, Newgen IEDC. In this grant, we can fund 2.5 lakhs for each student group to convert an idea into a prototype. This includes the student stipend. So most of our work in promoting innovation and entrepreneurship starts with a call for grants for this Newgen IEDC. And then, in the innovation chain from I think the academic institutes play a very important role, because we need to make the base of the pyramid extremely wide. We need to involve 100 students, each of them with 100 ideas. So developing the innovation mindset is our focus in the incubator. So we go through workshops with the students on identifying problems worth solving, and then go out of the building and actually empathize and find out the root of the problem, and then define the problem, find a point of view statement, and then start the ideation. So we spend enough time on these. And then from the ideation stage, then we put it through an IPR filter. At this point, we screen the project ideas and take them into our pre-incubator. So in the last 2 years, out of the 25 prototypes that we funded, we have published 4 patents. We are waiting for them to be granted. And there are 6 startups which have come out of our center. 2 of them were funded by the Startup Nidhi project, and 2 of them. So now we are feeding our students into the technology business incubators which are around us. So 2 projects this year have been funded by the Whaltech's Technology Business Incubator. So we follow a system of involving students and ideating with them. And I still feel that innovation is an attitude, is a continuous attitude. And when we go into entrepreneurship, it is not just one product that will make it a success story. The students need to know how to move from plan A to plan B, so on and so forth. And this year, we are starting an MBA program in Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Venture Management under the guidance of AICTE. So this program will be offered by the incubator, but the students will get an MBA, and there are various experiential learning modules with credits for the student startup and other things. So this is what we have been working with, and the university has been supporting us in giving us the infrastructure at 24/7 access to the laboratory, the startup center, and an excellent group of managers and mentors for our center.
Thank you, Rama. And very interesting to note that you already have 5 startups who have come out of the incubator successfully. And I also like the model of partnering with other incubators. I think that is a way to go, collaborate and grow among all incubators, so that you get the best of practices being circulated around. and the best of ideas getting circulated around for a common goal, and we can reinvent the wheel. Thank you, Ramad. So now let me see. I'll push the mic to Professor Badri, who is the professor and head of department of the business school at HITS. In terms of, I want to understand from you, Professor Badri, in terms of how HITS, and HITS also has been in this sphere of innovation entrepreneurship for many years now. Want to hear from you how you are shaping up your incubation cell now and gearing up for the future.
Good morning, sir. Thank you. And I should start saying that I'm lucky to be part of an institution which has entrepreneurship thought process right from its inception. So it is not a difficult process to, in fact, bring in entrepreneurship mindset here, because like from the founders' days of Hindustan has been as a group of institutions promoting entrepreneurship, and we have a huge success list of our alumni entrepreneurs on a global scale. So we have a lot of in-house inspiration, I should say. But in the last 10 years, there have been a lot of concerted efforts from the university to broad-base this, like how Dr. Rama ma'am said, broadening the mouth of the funnel is something which we are doing. And we approach this as a pyramid. There are a lot of students at the bottom of the pyramid, and there are faculty members at the middle of the pyramid, and the research at the top of the pyramid. So we are approaching all these three segments. We have tried different things. We have had different experiences altogether. We have had separate entrepreneurship courses. We have established a Hindustan Technology Business Incubator, which is self-financed, and we have created space for the startups to be incubated there. And every startup has brought in a lot of experience. We thought it should not be an isolated activity. It should be a broad-based activity. So for students, we have ingrained this into their curriculum. So students who pursue innovation are guided for filing patents. We have established an IP cell desk, which takes care of the patenting process, introduces them to the patenting process, and several students have filed their patent applications. In fact, Hindustan and the KCG College of Technology have featured twice for filing the highest number of patent applications in the country. So it has been a lot of motivation for the students, and those who are innovators and those who are entrepreneurs, they get credits also. They can earn credits in their academics for pursuing these things. So that system has also been approved in the academic process for the students. That's the bottom of the pyramid. The middle of the pyramid, which consists of faculties and research scholars, there are incentives for the innovators, those who come up with innovative ideas, those who collaborate. And we have recently introduced something called as One Faculty, One Industry scheme to involve all the faculty members to understand the needs of the industry. So that is taking shape. And at the top of the pyramid, funded research projects, there is a very guided approach for that. There is a centralized research office which guides the senior faculty members and the doctorates on the pursuing funded research projects, and that has a very wide canvas. And we have adopted, I should say, a very strategic approach in terms of renewable energy, in terms of the defense research, the presence of Hindustan faculty's research projects, automation and robotics. It has been phenomenal. And we are drawing inspiration from all this. One challenge which we are trying to address at various levels is aligning the aspirations of different stakeholders. The students come with a lot of aspirations of their own, whereas their parents have certain expectations from the students. And again, aligning the faculty, this triad of faculty, parents, and the students, bringing them together to pursue something of which the outcome is not very sure is always an interesting challenge to pursue. But we have had very good successes. I just want to talk about two successes. That is one on the aero UAV domain, where a startup called Aero to Astro started by a couple of our aeronautical engineering students, went on to find their place in the Defense Directory as a promising startup. So they are producing UAVs and they are working on that space. Another is Flita, which has gone out to win the NASSCOM 10K startups. They have secured venture capital funding, and totally we have had about 26 startups graduating from this incubator, but the potential is much more. We want this to become already that is part of the culture, but we still believe if we broad base the mouth of the funnel, there would be a lot more to get, and there is a need to effectively network. Now with the MHRD IAC coming in, a lot of activities have been streamlined. We are not doing things in isolation. There is a calendar, there is a process to it. So with definitely the support of Paul's and TiE Chennai, we are really benefiting out of these partnerships, and we are working on all these three segments of the pyramid. That is it, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Badri. I especially liked, your model, your point on, the conflict between parents and students and faculty. I think there is a little bit of crossroads there, but I think we are coming to a stage where, failure is not necessarily failure, right? So being a failed entrepreneur is actually seen a good thing now and being put in the resumes of students. So that is a message we should give to all the students. Thank you, Professor Badri. So quickly moving on, and now we have been traveling around Chennai, but I think we are missing a big part of the excitement, especially in Tamil Nadu, down south, right? The southern districts of Tamil Nadu, which is always seen as historically very entrepreneurial. We all talk about, creating jobs rather than job seekers. I think if you look at our youngsters and even people of our generation in the southern districts of Tamil Nadu, they do it naturally without any kind of training or without any kind of mentorship available to them. But now there is an opportunity to leverage the basic intelligence, native intelligence that they have with the structured ecosystem that, now the central government, the state governments, and also centrally funded institutions and privately funded institutions are providing. See how we can accelerate that rapid growth of entrepreneurial ecosystem that already exists there. So to talk about that and share their views, we have two professors, one from Ramco, Rajapalayam, and the other from NEC, National Engineering College, Kovilpatti. So to start off the conversation, if I can, Professor Pandian, if you are there, talk about what Ramco is up to. Ramco is run by an industrial house. So entrepreneurial instincts are already there in your blood. So talk about how you are leveraging that for the benefit of students and for the benefit of the society around you.
Yes, good morning to all present here, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity. So as you stated, Ramco is having that entrepreneurial attributes right from the start in our college. So after the inception of our college in 2013, we've started this entrepreneurship development cell in Ramco Institute of Technology in 2014 with a vision to create entrepreneurial awareness and to inculcate entrepreneurial skills among students. From the RIT ED cell, we conduct various awareness programs and motivational programs for the student and encourage them to participate in various programs outside the institution, because these are the guys who really come from deep south of our country. They are the students, they really got directly plugged into the problem in the real world. So through our ED cell, and now with the help of IAC activities, we are motivating our students by organizing orientation and awareness program and entrepreneurship, motivational talk with successful entrepreneurs. Then awareness on intellectual properties is happening then and there. Then real and fireside chat with student entrepreneurs. So the events are countless. So we are consistently we are motivating our students. And beyond these programs, the students are motivated to participate in events like business plan preparation, customer relationship management, business quiz, taking of business, etc., organized by other institutions and home institutions as well. So these are some of the gist of the activities that we are carrying out to face this ever-changing technological entrepreneurial world.
Thank you, Professor Pandian. As I said earlier, you are putting a method to madness, as I say, and put a business canvas and a customer discovery. I think you have already arrived. So thank you, Professor. Quickly jumping on to Kovilpatti, right? And I'm reminded of two things there. Loyal Textiles, run by our own alumnus, the late Manikam Ramaswamy, which we are all involved with in some way. And then, of course, the other thing about Kovilpatti is obviously the Kadala Mittai, right? Which actually was given the GI tag by the government recently. And we all love it, when we go to Kovilpatti. So to talk about not the Kadala Mittai, but the entrepreneurial ecosystem in National Engineering College, we have none other than Professor Shankar. He runs the incubation cell out there and the entrepreneurship development cell to talk about what they do and how they are connecting with the rural issues and problems and motivating students. Shankar, all yours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good morning to all, and thanks for the opportunity. So before disseminating about the ecosystem, what we are installed and running in our institution, we deeply analyzed the environment just outside our college, in the deep side, in the real society. What is the environment and what are all the opportunities available for the young minds to be a startup, and what are all the hurdles and what are all the challenges towards them. So whenever we are going to run a systematic concern, we should be completely aware about the resources and all things. So once you consider about the down south of our country, it's completely different from the other parts of our country. Here you can see the conflicting environmental condition as well as natural resource availability within district to district. For example, if you the districts Virudhunagar and Thoothukudi are completely dry, but the same way the very near districts Tirunelveli, Tenkasi are rich with water resources, and Kanyakumari also. So here, every type of land-based crops you can find: palm trees, peanuts, cotton like dry land crops, and rice, banana like wetland crops. So this is the natural resource availability. Not only the complete agriculture is filled the entrepreneurial environment. In addition to that, industries are also there. Many cottage industries are running the Virudhunagar district and the Thoothukudi district as match industries, crackers, and food processing. Like the cottage industry just told us about the peanut candy making process, and spinning mills exclusively. And particularly, we can find a lot of power generation plants, both renewable and non-renewable. So the southern districts are not only based on completely agriculture. Here, leading higher level industrial sectors also available. In addition to this all, we are having a wonderful marine resource also in Thoothukudi port. So fishes and fish processing units for exports and other parts. So this is what the environment here. So now we have to consider about the opportunity. See, available agriculture-based industries are also small scale only and numerous in count. So starting the same again also leads to risk and the sustainability for the young startups. So this is what we identify. In the meantime, all possible industrial business are also developed to utilize the existing natural and other resources in direct manner. So finally, the opportunity is high only for the innovative way of using available resources, no doubt, technology. So now in our country, the Make in India concept encourages purely startups who are all job creators. So the opportunities in the southern districts are very bright for entrepreneurship-based business, innovative machineries production, entrepreneurship based on shorten the journey between the resources and the customers by fill the gaps in the business flow line. And the challenge when we are finding with the young minds, as startup says, actually you can see the strong challenges. The second and the third generation entrepreneurs are not ready to utilize the above set opportunities, and also they need not to, since they are already in a blind path. So the one and only player here to come forward for enjoying these opportunities are the first generation entrepreneurs. But when a first generation entrepreneur came forward, the challenges that are hinder them are not from outside, only from inside. So this is what the peer analysis result. So generally, first generation entrepreneurs, startups having a fear on risk and an internal hurdle, even they acquired enough knowledge and skill in their business idea. They are in need of proper guidance and incubation support at the beginning more than the investment. Getting incubation support should be made easy to start the enterprise journey of the first generation entrepreneur. This is what our ultimate aim, to just arise the first generation entrepreneurs by making our incubation facilities very much easier and affordable. The incubation providers should rightly recognize the quality and scope of the first generation entrepreneur. That's very important. And once they cross the critical line, then they can sustain by their own, and timely credits may go to the incubators. So this is what our aim, and in this way we are planning and approaching the young minds who are all coming with a very good business idea and making them a successful startup here. And thanks for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Shankar. We will come back to you. So at this time, I just want to request the audience, faculty or students, if you have more questions, please plug them in to the chat window, or we will have a Q&A coming up very soon. Feel free to raise your hand at that time, and Sujata will let you in to shout the questions. But before we go to Q&A, all of you spoke about, you did a very good level set. And what is very interesting is, all of you have different challenges, and hence you see different opportunities, but all leading to a similar goal. But to see how you have delivered on the ground, it will be very interesting for us to hear from each of you. And I know Hits, Badri spoke about 2 success stories, but I want to go to the other incubators and hear from them what comes to them as top of the mind recall in terms of recent successes in their incubation cells. So Muthu, do you want to go first in terms of what has been your great success in the last few days, few weeks, few months?
I can, but if you want the others to go first, I'm okay with that too.
Okay, so I will go to Rama.
Yeah.
Rama, if you are ready, I know you said that you had a few startups, but it'd be good to hear from you 1 or 2 excellent success stories that you might want to reel out.
Yeah. So one success story I would like to share. No, it's still, the story is still evolving, of course. Is one physiotherapy student from our university who was working, who was getting incubated. So one thing about him was, all the programs that we taught him, he would take it to heart and actually execute them. So when we did a session on get out of the building and get the point of view of customers. So being a physiotherapist, he went to different hospitals and actually went around to see what is the problem there. And he identified that when there was a geriatric patient or an obese patient, shifting them from the house to the ambulance and then back to the scan, so on and so forth, was a huge hindrance. So he said, why don't I devise a wheelchair which can be converted into a stretcher? Not only that, it should also be able to take a few steps. Because in India, we don't have spaces which are very tuned for physically handicapped people. So he wanted to do this and he came and made a pitch. So when we said, we knew that there was a demand for this because right now everything is getting imported. So then, he had the energy in him to go out and actually fabricate and bring a machine. So he created a machine which could be converted, and then we went to the Ambattur Industrial Estate Manufacturers Association and actually did a demonstration. So we had a product in hand, we had a prototype with us, and he registered himself as a company, and he also pitched the Whaltech PBI and has been selected. Not only this, during the COVID times, he knew that to be able to start manufacturing these wheelchairs would require him to get help from somebody else. He'll have to have a joint venture. It would take time, but he wanted to get an interaction with a customer. So he actually started manufacturing these disinfectants and then the pedal operated dispensers and masks anything that the customer wanted. So he had the energy and wherewithal to get orders, deliver them on time, and get repeat orders. And that I thought was fantastic, because I think, innovation is not just about one product that you create and hope that somebody will come and take it. It's also a lot of energy and wanting to solve something for the customer. I think that attitude of wanting to solve a customer problem is very, very important. And I think that is something that we need to carry to ensure that the innovators and entrepreneurs have. This is one success story that I have. Do I have time to share one more?
We will come back unless you want to do it in a minute.
Yes.
You can do a minute, yeah.
Yeah. You're giving me a minute?
Yes.
Okay. So the other story I have is another student who did the same thing and came back and said, I'm very upset. I see a lot of videos about people who are cleaning the sewage. So he wanted to create a robot which would clear the drain. There are a lot of people who've been doing this, but he had the model which was slightly different. And interestingly, every competition that he sent this to, this project would get selected. So he's been funded by the Newgen IEDC, our incubator, to create a prototype. Then he was selected by the Startup Nidhi to create this and go to the corporation and actually try working on this. Then he was selected by the MHRD IIC in the proof of concept, and they said, please, we will give you money, do it, go and get this done. So in fact, yesterday he had a session where he created this and actually did a test with an underwater tube. So the good thing about Madesh is that he has not let go of this, because it's a challenge and very difficult for youngsters to go to the places where drains are being cleaned. So he would actually go and watch what is happening, and he would come back and tell me the problem is not that we don't have enough equipment. But most of the time when there is a blockage in the drain, it is in some small lane where the corporation's lorry cannot get in. So he said, what we need is something portable which I can keep on a two-wheeler and take it there, and then we can help clear the log. So I think that mindset of actually going to the place where this problem is and not just reading up and Googling up, I think that going to the customer and finding out what the root of the problem is, I think that is most important, and that is why Madesh has been able to get to where he is.
Thank you, Rama. And for all the students listening, you get a lot of ideas. I also want to draw upon the fact that, there are a couple of startups we know which are doing the standing wheelchairs, and also wheelchair that will go and retrofit into a moving vehicle that, the handicapped person can actually move around in the city. So there is some, a lot of opportunities for collaboration in that space. And I also liked your idea about, the ability of entrepreneurs to pivot, right? In fact, some of the most successful companies in the recent times have been the ones who did a pivot when the COVID thing came, and they completely re-engineered their business and made more money in the last 3 months than what they did in the last 2 years. And they are using that to fund their core business. So brilliant people, some of them. I want to quickly jump on to who else? Badri has already spoken about hits. I want to go back down south. Professor Shankar or Professor Pandian, do you want to give 1 or 2 examples?
Yes, sir. This is Marutha Pandian. I want to share a couple of examples. So, a student group in 2018, they've participated in a competition at IIT Madras Tech to Form, which is a flagship event conducted by Association of Mechanical Engineering. So with the aim to do something impactful for the society, they have collected a real life engineering problems in agricultural sectors. So they picked a certain problem. They developed a solution or a model for preventing banana trees from heavy winds. So it is a simple setup. It looks like a tripod of a camera. So they emerged as the winner of this competition, Tech to Form, which is a 4-month-long competition. So in their category, which is a nation across competition, they emerged as winner. So after winning this competition, they again awarded with the Student Innovators Award from ICT ACT Academy Tamil Nadu. Then they pitched the same idea in Anna University Pitch Fest, and they finally shortlisted for the grant. Now they are moving towards glory. So 6 students, all are from agricultural background. They keenly watched how their families and foes are battling along with this heavy winds during the monsoon period, and they developed this wonderful tripodal structure to support the banana trees, which is very simple. And they've also registered filed a patent for that also. So that is one of the success story I want to mention here, sir.
Very interesting, sir. I never realized there is such an easy solution for protecting the banana trees from the strong winds. Thanks for sharing that. You're giving a lot of inputs to our student listeners, actually.
Thank you, sir.
A very brilliant idea. Who want to go next?
I can go if you want.
Yeah, Muthu.
Out of the 25 companies we have, 50% of them are already going into the market. Out of this, 70% of ours are funded. We've created about 100 jobs. I don't want to specifically talk about any of the startups. 3 of the startups, one is by a retired but rehired radiologist who's come up with a device which will help intravenous radiology. He's now licensed the technology for the next 3 years for several crores to a large organization. The next one is a young boy who decided he will not go to college after finishing his 12th. He's also making large grants on COVID and also voice enabled for doctors. Another one is a faculty startup looking at a laser, fiber optic cable to do diagnostics. He's just got over 1,000 pieces of order now. He's starting to build them this week. So those are the 3 ones which are doing extremely well. And the others are all coming. Of course, our incubator is only 2.5 years old. So in medical devices, it takes a little bit longer. Now also almost all of them have won major awards, minimum 5 lakhs and so on. But in particular, again, the young boy was selected to represent India in Geneva by the WHO for his solution. Unfortunately, he was not able to go because of the COVID. So hopefully, whenever it happens, he will get to go. And a couple of other startups have also got awards in especially AI for cancer diagnostics and so on out in Europe. So I think that's what we have done. But it takes a little longer at healthcare. It probably minimum about 36 months for anyone to get anything concrete. So we are getting into the 3rd year, so we hope to see a few of them leaving us now.
Brilliant, Muthu. So,
thank you.
Brilliant, Muthu. So I want to go back and again, Sujata, at the end of this session, we will have the Q&A. So be ready to share the presentation at the right time.
Yes, Mohan.
To Raghu is not now, Sujata, after the end of the session. So Raghu, I know I've kept you silent for a while, but MCRC has been a tremendous feeder, as you said, to the agriculture related innovation and technology related innovation. I know we have benefited quite a bit because of the Innova students. They all are probably working or are going to work with you to get incubated and help take them to a minimum viable product kind of stage. But you already have a few success stories, and you want to share that with the audience?
Yeah, thank you. There is a small difference between whatever is being discussed in terms of creating enterprises and so on, with what kind of work we do, because we actually develop products which are more or less meant for the underprivileged, very small farmers, products related to managing drudgery, very decentralized technologies where often there is no power or no infrastructure that we are all used to in urbanized towns and cities. So our enterprises tend to be, or our entrepreneurs tend to be people who are very local and probably sell to a very small, limited group of people. So in a sense, it is what would today be called social entrepreneurs, and for whom we have done many kinds of these kind of projects. But I think what everybody discussed here is also what our entrepreneurs end up having to manage. There are technological changes which dramatically moves the business into which they have gotten. Second, they have problems with having to pivot or having to change because something else happens in a nearby town or a nearby place, and suddenly some other new, better quality, perhaps a better, cheaper product becomes available easily to themselves. So they get lost in the competition, to the competition. Now, but the important thing we keep telling them is that life has to kind of move on, and it's not always about innovation, but to be able to find what your customer actually really sees as value. Most customers do not buy products; they buy something which helps them to solve their problem, for which there is a cost or there's a price that they're willing to pay. And I think that is what almost every entrepreneur will have to learn to manage. And I think PALs and all of us who are involved in entrepreneurship development have to understand this and realize this and teach them that sometimes finding that opportunity, being very alert to it and being very open to it, it is perhaps the only thing that entrepreneurs need to kind of really learn. That they have customers, sometimes changing customers, and they have to keep kind of servicing them in a nice way for which they shall get paid. And I think that's about the only thing that you can really teach them, the sensing of opportunities, not short term, but really long term opportunities. And that's where health technology also comes in.
Thank you, Raghu. So customer discovery, and I also want to alert the audience to what is called as GDC, which is Gopalakrishna Deshpande Center for Innovation, which is again at another CSR run initiative. And that helps students, incubatees, and want to be startup kind of people to discover their customers. See, finally, you are only as good as Raghu says, you are only as good as what your customer tells you. So how do you identify the customers for your products and how do you service them is what is going to help you get to the long haul. And in the way you will innovate, innovation automatically comes. So what Raghu is saying is innovation will come naturally. You focus on the customer. I think the good points are well noted. I want to move on. Before we get to Q&A, I know Abhijit, the three cases that RUTAG brought out today itself is a brilliant case study. Anything else that you want to share, sir?
Yeah, given the overall spirit of the challenge and opportunities that we are talking about, so I just wanted to highlight one point which is related, especially as technology solution seekers, that sometimes we may have to address. So we talked about invention, innovation, entrepreneurship. There's one aspect which is quite often there, which is the scale at which our technology solution may be useful. And I'll just give you an example of a need which is identified, and we've not found a solution so far, but I just wanted to highlight that in such a problem also there is a great scope, though scale may not be there. And the problem that was stated is related to basically this halls and so many other small candies which come in this kind of a wrapper. And past expiry, one of the organization was responsible for waste utilization of this. So what is inside this is actually sugar and something which is quite compostable. But the outside is this plastic and metal and a multi-layer film. So can we develop a solution where we can take the inside out and do composting of it, and the outside can go to a waste plastic recycling unit? And of course, the way to do it is, of course, sit and hundreds of people doing it, but that's not really feasible. So can we have an automated solution for this? And this has been a problem posed to us by an NGO for last 2 years. And we haven't yet had any faculty and student take it up. And the key reason in this is a very specific problem, but look at the a solution if we find where a call can be applicable. In the end, see, this is a simple mechanical device maybe. We could have some automation involved in it. It may involve some controls and system recognition. So we can have a very simple mechanical device. We can have a very automated device. So it involves all the aspect, but the initial scale is only that particular NGO. And so because we are always cited, this product, which has reached everybody in the world. So we cannot wait for to start working on a device like this. We must start thinking of the immediate problem which is next to us, and can we make a mark? And hopefully this will evolve into something bigger. Otherwise, we will always just see waiting for this and never really take the next step. So that was a message that I wanted to convey in terms of challenges and opportunities which are there.
Thank you, Professor Abhijit. And I guess that's also a message for all the students, faculty here. There is a beautiful problem statement now given to you by Abhijit, and which can become your next RUTAC project winner. So go for it, people. It's all there for you waiting. Create a wrapper that will go inside out, as he said. So for the sugar candy, a very common problem, but very difficult to find solutions. Very interesting from that perspective. So I know I want to go to Q&A, but did I miss anyone in the panel? Shankar or Pandian?
Yes, sir. So there is any time to discuss some success stories from our incubation side? Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Yeah, may I take a minute to disseminate a success story? This will be inspired to the student audience, maybe.
Yes, sure, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's my pleasure to convey an important success story of our incubation cell. And as you know, in our college also, we are having a new gen IADC scheme, which is providing a pre-incubation support. From that, measures Gold Venture Private Limited, Koilpatti, a startup concern based on automobile spares e-commerce, promoted by Mr. Sanmo Sundaram, one of our mechanical engineering alumni, started his entrepreneurial journey during his course itself from the pre-incubation stage through our college new gen IADC. And now the concern is under the college business incubator support. And the same way, just his junior, Mr. S. Rajkumar, he has started a Ramji Agro Implements, Koilpatti, a MSME startup of him, developed his commercially viable product through our college new gen ADC support during his course. And now he has successfully started his entrepreneurial journey through our college business incubator. So the environment is very good for the startups whenever they are approaching the critical solutions from the existing problems. So this is very easier to find the funds, easier to get the supports from all the governmental and non-governmental sides. So the only thing is the students has to think in the wider mind to approach the public, identify the problems. They should not go with their, they should make the trend. So this is what the important message what I am giving to the young minds, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Professor. So with that, what we will do is we will go to Q&A, and there is a specific bit in the panel discussion, a very common question in terms of mentoring and funding, which also we will address as a part of the Q&A. So Sujata, if you can share the presentation where we have received all the questions. What I would request the panelists is, look at it, go 1, 2, 3, 4. Any of you can take up those questions, and then others can chip in wherever they feel they have to. So the floor is all yours. I also request the audience, those of you especially who have asked these questions, to raise their hands or put it up on the chat window if you have a follow-on question, or if you have not understood the answer correctly. So with that, we are going to throw the floor open, and then we will come back with the closing remarks, and of course, very important concept around what all of you would like PALS now to do further in this area of quote unquote innovation-led entrepreneurship. So with that, gentlemen and lady, can you get started cracking with the questions? Question number 1, who wants to take it?
I hope the questions are visible.
Yes, madam, visible.
Thank you.
Yeah, who wants to take question 1? And it's free flowing. Don't wait for my instruction because it's a waste of time. Get started. Anybody?
If I may volunteer for question 1, to keep it very simple, registration of enterprise has 2 sides to it. You can do very easily an MSME registration online, free of cost, and you get the Udyog Aadhar ID immediately, which is very helpful for you to go for bank loans, and it marks the beginning or birth of your enterprise. So there is, if you just have your Aadhar card number and a bank account, which you can change it later also when you open something for your own enterprise, then you can shift the bank account also. So registration through MSME is very easy, but it is not a legal registration. There are different forms of legal registration. If you don't want to raise funds externally, you can even go in for a 1% company, which is a new form which has come up. If you want to go for VC funding or raise money for your enterprise, then you must choose a private limited company. Probably you can think of it, get some advice on it. There is no need to delay for your MSME registration. As soon as you coin an idea and you start to work on it, you can go for an MSME registration. Then the legalities, you can take it up with some advice.
Padri, you have said you'll take 2, 3, 4 also. Yes,
if I may continue, analyzing the market for your product, as Rama ma'am said in her experience, that is the best way to do. One student who went out, go out of the building and find out what it is. Ma'am has already given you the answer for this. That is the way you go and talk to the actual users, as Professor Abhijit also told now, like you empathize with what actually the problem is, and from the user's perspective, normally we are inflicted by a kind of pride of our solution, that it is our baby, our solution, so it is always special to us. But from the market perspective, you should be open to get feedback from a bunch of people. Talk to some at least 20 to 30 people who will be your targeted users. You may be surprised to see the different perspectives which you get from them. So there are a lot of resources also available online. You can even float an online survey. That can also be done, but still it's very good to talk to people in person. So that is analyzing the market for your product. And all of us have also a wrong notion that there is no competition. We normally hear this whenever we sit for presentation. The team says that we don't have any competition. That is actually not true. That means you need to collect some more data. There exists definitely different forms of competition. So you need to approach it with an open mind. So what the 5-question template which we normally follow is like, what's the problem you are trying to address? What's your solution, and how your solution is different from the existing solutions? What people are currently doing, and how are you going to face competition? These things are very basic things you need to answer. So first think of these things. So analyzing the market for your product is to see it from the eyes of the user. The third is, what should be the first step if a fresh graduate is going to start a business? It's $1 million question. It's a fight between your head and heart, I would say. A lot of adrenaline from inside says you should start the enterprise, and a lot of people around you will say, what is your problem? So it is a very important decision point in everybody's life, especially an innovator and entrepreneur. So I found personally a very useful guideline on this. So probably that may work for you. See, first you have to do a lot of self-analysis, whether you are actually cut out for entrepreneurship. There are a lot of self-assessment tools available online. But a 5-point thing which you can do is like, are you happy with kind of a routine life? Are you open and flexible to a schedule? So that is the first point. If you have to be flexible, if you are an entrepreneur, if you want to get into entrepreneurship. Are you looking for a growth or survival in your life? Entrepreneurship or innovation is all about survival instinct, and if you want to take up entrepreneurship or innovation, you should have a survival instinct. So that is a second checkpoint. The third checkpoint is like, can you live with limited resources? You will not get abundance, not everything on the platter on the table. If you pursue innovation and entrepreneurship, you should be ready to go with what you have. So do you have that in you? That is something you need to get into. I would say you fix a time to test your journey, and you can always keep exploring something on a parallel track, even if you're taking up a job. So it is not actually choosing between an entrepreneurship and a job today. In today's industry, you have an opportunity. Even industries have their own incubators which supports the employees who have innovative ideas to pursue entrepreneurship. So if you're a fresh graduate, well and good, you can start a business, but you should have somebody in your team who is experienced as a person of experience in the business which you're pursuing. That will definitely help for you to navigate your business to a success.
Thank you, Badri. So just want to go to the other panelists. The first four questions. Any of you would like to agree, disagree?
I thought that was very well answered by Badri.
Sure. Anybody else want to add? Otherwise, we can go to the next question. Okay, who want to take the next one?
Myself, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So the question number 5, and just skipping on to the direct answering, not wasting that time. First of all, I am very much appreciating your ethical thinking. Your fear is very correct. Definitely, each innovation having its own demerits. In order to have a lot of features and addressing maximum of customer requirements, demerits are unavoidable. So, however, it is not possible to completely banish demerits. We can reduce and dilute their severity by continuously upgrading our innovation. As you quoted social media as an example, let me to explain on the same way. See, nowadays the social media are criticized for so-called demerits, but what the developers are doing, they are continuously upgrading their product to dilute the severity of the demerits without compromising the quality of their service. So in the same way, as an innovator, you have to take care of the continuous monitoring of the impact what your innovation is made to the society. And the same way, if you ethically, you can upgrade the system to dilute the severity. It's not possible to completely eliminate the demerits. Practically, it's not possible, I think. You can reduce by upgrading. And the question number 6, also I'm ready to address. Which field is now trending for more publicly entrepreneurship? Yeah, first of all, thanks for this trending question. Actually, one untold meaning of the word trend is nothing but temporary. A trend today surely become out of trend tomorrow. So I am not critiquing the into, but generally it is not advisable to set a permanent revenue earning entrepreneurship for a temporary trend. No doubt entrepreneurship should contain the essence of newness and innovation should be updated along with the society. This is nothing but entrepreneurship, but this must sustain even the trend gone. For that, prepare your entrepreneurship journey, which can address the issue of ongoing trend at all time. Your system should be adaptable at all time. Then it's so much good. Simply saying the entrepreneur should be the one who set the trend and not chase the trend. So this is my idea. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
next question, question 7. Who wants to take it?
Yeah, question 7 is some useful tricks to be a successful or best entrepreneur. So I want to suggest first find your passion. The most successful startups are founded by people who are passionate about what they do. When you have a love for music, the things you are most interested in can serve as a great source of inspiration for entrepreneurial ideas. So first of all, you should find your passion, know your market. Second, a failure to understand your market is one of the top reasons why new business fail. So you have to have a clear idea on who are all your target customers and what opportunity you are focusing on. So you have to know your market thoroughly. And after that, get your finances in order. So get your economics and finances in order, then prepare to make sacrifices. There is no such thing as an overnight success. Even the multi-million-dollar startups that seem to pop out of the nowhere were the result of countless hours of hard work before they started making headlines. So prepare to make sacrifices on that note and find a mentor. So that is very important. Running a business requires a wide range of skills and expertise that you likely haven't mastered yet. You shouldn't try to make challenging business decisions on your own. Because of this, finding a mentor is one of the most important things a young entrepreneur can do. Mentors have taken this path before and bring knowledge and experience to help you move forward and make smarter business decisions, because decisions matters. Use alumni network, conferences, and other resources like PALS and RUTAG, RTBA, everything to find a better mentor. Then tune up your basic knowledge. So these are some of the tricks or attributes that you can inculcate to become a best entrepreneur. Thank you.
Question 8, very basic, but very difficult. Who wants to take it?
So, yeah, so let me try, because I'll take the 9th question also. So okay. I think an entrepreneur is somebody who takes responsibility for their own decisions and life in a way. So they decide what they are going to work on, and if they have taken up a customer order, they take the promise to deliver that. So when you're working for somebody, you might say, if things become too difficult, you can say, okay, let me just resign my job. So that cannot be done as an entrepreneur. So I would say somebody who is working for himself. It's a vague description. I'm not sure if it fits, and maybe somebody else can add on. Yeah, I can take the 9th question. So the 9th question is whether a faculty can start a startup. Okay, so my university is also adapting the National Innovation and Startup Policy, which has been given by the Ministry of Education. So according to that, if a faculty is a member of the board, of a company which has been started by a group of students, etc., he can be on the board as a member, but he has to promise that he is not going to spend more than 20% of the office hours on this project, and his academic and administrative duties are not in any way compromised. But if he decides to take up an executive role, say a CEO, if he wants to do that, so he is given 3 months time. So you can just try out and find out if this idea that you are working on is going to work out successfully. You can try this for 3 months. And then after 3 months, it is requested that he go on a sabbatical leave for 6 months to 1 year to work on his or her own startup. So if he or she is taking a salary in that time, then the equity share for the institute could be up to 20%. If he is not taking any salary from the institute for this, then I think the equity share. So equity share for the institute will depend very much on how much is the contribution that the institute made. So that is something that we need to look at, and that varies from case to case. So in since startup, a faculty can develop a startup and be the CEO, and depending on what was the contribution of the institute will be the share of equity. And the Ministry of Education has said that the institute Institute as such cannot hold any equity, but only a special purpose vehicle like a incubator, which should be registered independently, can hold the equity, and equity share would vary between 2% to 9%. And if it is a student startup, then they would strongly recommend that the institute does not take more than 3 to 4%, and that too based on the contribution of the institute in the idea. Yeah. So that is the answer to that. And then the next question, use of learning entrepreneurial skills for engineering. So I think learning entrepreneurial skills are important for anybody. You know, today, even if you take up a job, it is expected that your department should work as an independent unit. It should be able to make enough profit. So an engineer, if he's looking at this, should definitely learn how to innovate, how to solve problems, and how to handle your own team, and how to ensure that your department is a profitable department. So I think entrepreneurial skills or intrapreneurial skills, as they are called, are extremely good for engineering students. Okay, the 11th question, how to be an entrepreneur and guidelines. If students who are in the final year of engineering or have just completed engineering, please apply for the MBA Innovation Entrepreneurship Development Venture Management course that AICT has just proposed. There are 15 institutes all over India who are offering this course. You need to write the entrance exam, and I think the last date for applying is 31st of August. Do that and we will teach you how to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Mohan. And later on, I can answer the question number 17 when we come to that.
Question 12, any takers? I know Raghu is silent, Muthu is silent. Abhijit.
Some of these are, I think, what Ms. Vaidyanathan just explained. Some of it is all more or less about what is the mindset of an entrepreneur. And I think the key is that it's a very long haul journey, like it is for almost any career. So you invest a lot and expect returns much, much later. If you go in thinking that from the first day you're going to make tons of money because you're an entrepreneur or you don't have to work for somebody and you have freedom, it is not really true. The boss for an entrepreneur is not the company boss or the faculty boss within an engineering college or a medical college. The boss is the market, and that is often very chaotic and doesn't tell you what is right, what is wrong, and often ends up hurting you. So you have to be very strong. You have to have stamina. I always say that an entrepreneur is somebody who is like a marathon runner and not a sprinter. It's a slow process. It's a learning process. And it is not full of joy in the beginning. It is difficult. Unless you have stumbled on some lucky niche that you have entered, which is very, very rare. But the rest of the time, it's very difficult. So do have the patience, and there are no shortcuts for entrepreneurs. There are no shortcuts for anybody in life in that sense. But I think the important thing is that you should remain optimistic and hopeful. And if you are able to satisfy customers, as the examples that were given, if you see that you are wanting to go in with A idea, there may need to be something else that will develop in the outside market, which will become B. Entrepreneur, the difference between innovator and entrepreneur is when an innovator or an engineering faculty person's work, they are trying to deal with the chaos within the system of their own department, of their own work. There are many options that appear. You can do this. Why not I try that? Why don't I try this? Kind of things, they come up. Whereas for entrepreneurs, the chaos or the confusion is in the outside world. It's not within. Within, you have to be very disciplined and very systematic. Outside world will give you 1,000 signals, very different signals. And you have to learn how to cut through that maze to understand what is right to be done. And that ultimately is to be able to be very, very keenly listening into your customer or your consumer of your products. And it need not be the actual consumer. You may be serving somebody who's serving somebody else. So you have to learn to listen very carefully There are broad skills only we can talk about here. What else? What define an entrepreneur, or learning skills and all are very difficult to answer. But I think they are like almost any other learning process as one develops, as one gets older, has more experience, and so on. But please do not think these are fast ways to make money. Fast ways to make money are not easy with entrepreneurial skills. It takes time, right? You are probably better off doing something else if you want to make quick money, rather than trying to develop an enterprise, build it up, finance it, find the customers, serve the customers, build the factories to do so. There are so many things that have to be done. And you're often almost all alone. So you must keep that also in mind.
I agree. See, money will come. I don't think money should be top of your mind. I think your focus should be in terms of building a value proposition for the stakeholders of your business. And once a value proposition is built and accepted, money will automatically come as we go along. Looking at question 12, sir, changes, I think it's challenges, I think, for entrepreneurs in the pandemic situation. Any of you want to take it? Companies, I think somebody spoke about pivoting. Anybody wants to take question 12?
I can take it, Mohan, if nobody wants to take. Pivoting is probably not the first thing you do. If you believe in what you're doing and you're able to survive, you should continue with what you're doing, because changing just for the sake of changing is not going to help you much, because you require the interest and also you need to be able to deliver those solutions. You could do something for short term to address the COVID situation, but you should not be dropping whatever you've been working for 2 or 3 years. The key would be to keep your costs low, your expenses low, and continue with what you're doing, because you started with it. You should not divert. This is the take we tell people, because that's how everybody's jumping to COVID. What happens after COVID, right? So you need to be cautious of those things when you do. So I think that's what I would say. The next one you ask, how can we advance the industry? I think that's a $10 million question. I mean, we can't advance the industry. We could probably just play a role to help build an industry. And the benchmarking, there's lots of ways to benchmark technology innovation. So I think we can't really take that up at this conversation. It needs to be looked at more in detail. So that's my take for those 3 questions.
Okay. Anybody else wants to add on benchmarking for technology and innovation? Rama or Abhijit or Badri?
So, yeah, so benchmarking, there are some guidelines given by the TRL levels, marking, finding out what level you are in. Yeah, so, but I don't think I have the right answer. Abhijit should probably take this question.
There are, I think, several ways to do the benchmarking. And so as the technology ready level is one of them, which also tells you in your entrepreneurial journey where you are. But I guess maybe, I don't know whether the question also relates to as an R&D question, as when I'm trying to do something, how do I benchmark? Whether the solution that I have found is at least trying to do what it claims to do. So generally we have benchmarking internally by varying parameters, by varying, you have to look at robustness, you have to calculate efficiencies, you have to compare it with existing solutions. So those are the standard science and engineering benchmarking methods. So those you will have to engage in while you are, let's say, working on the initial aspects of the innovation.
Question 15, I think Muthu has already answered that. Obviously, in the difficult situations, you have to sit tight, hold on to your cash. Cash is king now. Reduce your expenses, use the time to get trained. A lot of things you can do. You can try some small pivots to get some cash flows going for your company. Like some of the others have done. So that is I think, addressed. Question 16, who wants to take that?
I would like to take that. Yeah, I would also like to add on to what are the challenges faced by entrepreneurs. So I'm just sharing, as teachers, we have faced a challenge during lockdown. Instead of the person-to-person classes, suddenly we had to switch on to online classes. So this was actually, it became a huge advantage, because earlier we had we had a problem of not having enough projector rooms, etc. But today, every teacher has an opportunity to use presentations and videos and other things. So, this is the challenge that was posed by COVID has actually become an advantage. And now we have a very good system of capturing the classes and finding out how students are faring. So I think, challenges can be converted into opportunities and advantages. Okay, then the 16th questions, conditions for starting an incubator in a college. I think the first and foremost is a commitment from the college that they should set up an incubator. An incubator is a setup which should have 24/7 access for students to come and ideate and use that and make mistakes and learn. So it is recommended by the Ministry of Education that a university should set up about 1% of their annual budget towards innovation and entrepreneurship activities. So some of it should go into this incubator. Now, an incubator can be registered in 3 ways: as a trust, as a society, or a Section 8 company. Most of the older incubators have been registered as a trust or a society, including the PSG step, etc. But of late, the Tamil Nadu government also, the EDI wants it to be a Section 8 company to be able to give funding. The Atal Incubation Center also expects the incubator to be a Section 8 company to be able to receive funding. The Department of Science and Technology, as of now, is giving funding to incubators registered as a trust or society, but that might change anytime. So, so we need to register the incubator under these conditions. Yeah. Then the other question, yeah.
Last question, Rama. 17.
The criteria for a project to be considered for incubation. So what we usually use is, there are 3 questions that we ask. One, is there a customer requirement? Is this idea or prototype going to solve a problem which exists? Then we take it up. Then the second thing is it technologically feasible? That is, the student group who wants to create the solution or the prototype or take it up further, do they themselves have the technical feasibility, or do they have access to technology? Second question. And then the third one is about scale up. The customers who had the pain point, do they have the power to buy this? So those are 3 questions that we usually look at. And also the incubator that we are looking at, everybody has a specialization. And we should be able to contribute to the project that is coming into the incubator. So these are 3 or 4 things that we look at when we look at projects for incubation in our center.
Good. Thanks, Rama. Just to do a time check, as far as the panel is concerned, we are bang on time. But the overall session is delayed by 15 minutes because we started 15 minutes late. So we will catch up as much as possible. Sujata, any follow-on questions?
There are a couple of 3 more questions that got added, Mohan.
Quickly read and get.
Yeah. Other than innovation, are there any factors that help to lead entrepreneurship forward? Was the next question.
Okay. Any of you? Quickly.
Yeah, besides innovation, you need to have a good team as well to execute it. That's probably number 1. It's not even your innovation first. I don't understand the next question. It says current knowledge on medical electronics. I'm not sure.
Very clear. It's not very clear.
An example for being a great entrepreneurship, I don't think we can use the word great in front of entrepreneurship. So I think we have few people in India, like the Infosys people are one. You have the Reliance people, you have the Tata people. There's plenty out there we can win in our own country. We don't need to go outside. So I think I've answered that very quickly for you, Mohan, all 3.
And just moving on for some of the chat questions, Pramod Atali from our PALS champion. His question is on college require rigid adherence to study, set curriculum to successfully pass exams, and a stifling innovation mindset. So how can the colleges tackle this inherent contradiction?
Probably that's what I referred to in my brief, like we need to, as deemed universities ourselves, HITS and MGR, we have the liberty to tweak our academic rules. So we have added some credits for people who are students who are innovators and entrepreneurs who promote startups and file patents. So that way, when you incentivize them academically, the learning becomes actually more. They feel more empowered, and there is a purpose, and good talent comes into this. So this way you can buy in the support of the parents also. So that is my part of it. I leave it to Rama ma'am.
Yeah, so this is a very, very real problem, and the Ministry of Education and the Institute Innovation Council has studied this. In fact, the council, the National Innovation Startup Policy, is headed by Professor Junjunwala. So what has been done is, so it is recommended that credits are given to students who are working on startups, etc. And what they also say is, if an institute is not giving credits or is not helping them, then he said they don't have a share in the IP. They will not have any IP rights. So, so those are some things. The government is definitely giving suggestions, and I think Anna, if you are under Anna University, I'm sure Anna University will also have to follow the guidelines where credits have to be given to students for carrying out their startup projects.
That's a phenomenal point, Rama. And I do hope our administrators fix that. That will go a long way, I think, in building the entrepreneurial ecosystem in universities. Any more questions, or we can move on?
I think just few more. I think this was answered by Dr. Rama. The need and procedure to start an incubation and conditions to be fulfilled. I think it got answered.
If any of them, want follow-on, feel free to, reach out to Sujata or any of us, and we will make sure that, we connect you to the facilitators here, the experts here, because we all have to learn this together. So we cannot boil the ocean, as I say, in a 1 hour session, but we will definitely take follow-on actions.
Yeah.
So one small add-on for question number 1, I forgot to mention, like students, when you're going for an online Udyogada registration, be very careful in the website which you're choosing. When you do a Google search, you get a lot of dubious sites which promise you for Udyogada registration. Please do not go into any other site except the government site. So be very careful in choosing the right source. If you have a problem, go to the Government of India's MSME Ministry site. From there, you take the link and come, that will be better. So please be very careful when choosing the site for registering your Udyog Aadhaar when you are doing a Google search.
Very important.
Yeah, and the next question was on, is there any insurance scheme which will cover the risk of a startup?
I think that itself could be a startup. Insurance for startups.
Insurance for startups, I think, in startup, there is this little thing called, get money from the 3 Fs, right? Family, friends, and fools. So the fools become the insurers. So that's a little side secret to all this. Yeah.
And what new policy tools should we be using?
Policy tools.
Startup India registration, Startup India policy is really very big. See, it allows you to fail. It encourages, it says that the government says it's okay to fail as an entrepreneur. What more you want? So go ahead, get lots of good videos are available on the YouTube to understand about this. So if you explore, there are definitely options in our country today.
And to the previous question to add with your student, see, IIT Madras has now given an option for the final year students not to sit for placements and instead, pursue their idea. And depending on how things go, next year they can choose to come back to placement after they finish the course. So I guess that's an opportunity for other universities as well.
Just quickly, Mohan, Mr. Alex, you have raised your hand. I tried to ask you to unmute, but you're not responding. I hope you have raised it by mistake. If there are any questions, you feel free to write it to us to palspgm@gmail.com and we'll get it answered from the expert panel. Over to you, Mohan.
Yeah, we run out of time. So just 2 last, quick wrap-up points. I want to go round robin and ask each of you. You are closing. I mean, there are a lot of students here who want to be entrepreneurs, faculty here who want to partner with students and create enterprises. Innovation, of course, will come on its way. Any words of wisdom, anything that you have shared, not shared so far? I want to start with Raghu. Just 1 minute.
Nothing specific except that with PALS, at least, can I say about PALS first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So I think there has been a good start in going towards rural technologies relevant to rural areas, drudgery reduction, and so on, and agriculture, because all the three that got awarded to RUTAG were the first step, I guess. We could do more because the focus in the past through Innova and other methods have been with IoT and internet and high-tech areas. So I hope these, because the opportunities in this area for agriculture technology is enormous. So all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you. Abhijit, any words of wisdom and what you would like PALS to do more?
Yeah, I mean, I just had just a remark for students out there, just in terms of what Raghu and others have already highlighted, that this is a long haul, and generally any process of research, development, and entrepreneurship will have ups and downs, and we have to make sure that we don't quit in the first down. And we are prepared to say that, there will be downs as we go along. So I think even when at a small level we start designing a prototype to begin with, what many times happens is the first tough question asked by somebody else can be a dampener. And so that's where the ability to go over the downs is very important. So that with that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Yeah. So I think if anybody needs any help in terms of incubation at IIT Madras, it doesn't have to be healthcare. They can always reach out to me. I can connect you to my colleagues in the other incubator as well. That's not an issue. I think the good part is I'm actually writing the toolkit now for AICT as well for entrepreneurship. And some of you might have seen me before doing the innovation and entrepreneurship module for AICT, which I've been doing for the last couple of years by the direction of the current chairman. So he is quite positive. He has reached out to me now again to write the toolkit, which he's asked me to write in the next 15 days. So I'm working on that for entrepreneurship toolkit. So there you are. So as far as policies go, AICT is extremely positive about taking entrepreneurship for sure. That's my.
Anything you want PALS to do?
Yeah, PALS can reach out to all your schools, and if they need someone to help them in terms of incubation, we can help them. We are now in for IIT Madras is in for co-incubation. There is no issues now. We can do virtual incubation. There is absolutely no problem. They just have to come through you, and we'll be more than happy to help them. And there's no requirement that they have to be part of IIT Madras at all. I mean, obviously that helps, but they don't have to be. The incubation cell, HTIC, RTBI, and bioincubator, all are open to take people from outside. And this has been a lot of conversation in our board meetings to take people from outside and also support other incubators. So we're more than happy to do that from our side.
I want to underscore what Muthu said, for all the audience there. Moving on, Rama.
Yeah, so students out there, you are a very important part of the innovation ecosystem of India. So we want you to develop an attitude of challenging assumptions around you. Don't say, I cannot do this and only so-and-so can do it. Each one of you out there has a potential, and look at problems around you. Be observant, know that things can change and you can change things. I think that is the attitude we want you to develop.
Okay, anything you want, anything more you would like PALS to do?
Yeah, maybe PALS can organize a workshop on problem identification, ideation, validation, etc. That is something I'm sure a lot of people here can help in now.
Yeah, PALS, as I spoke about GDC, right? That's again a sister arm of various initiatives within IIT. So we work together, with such institutions like RUTAG, STIC, Incubation Cell, GDC, and even TIE in some cases to facilitate some of these activities. Thank you, Rama. I want to move down south before I move to Badri. So Pandian sir, would you like to give your closing remarks and then some words of advice for pals?
Yes, sir. Students in small towns seem to be more dedicated and driven as compared to their urban counterparts. Since they have a first-hand understanding of the problem they aim to solve, students from non-metros tend to take a hands-on approach to come up with nifty and viable ideas that resonate specifically to the local market. This is something a startup founder from Bengaluru, Delhi, or Chennai wouldn't necessarily comprehend. Whatever may be the kind of startup, it has its own challenges and some stellar opportunities. So on PALS, they can conduct additional organizing training programs in adaptation of technologies for the benefit of the rural masses. They can coordinate between people in rural areas who need information and technology with agencies that already have the record knowledge by organizing workshops, seminars, and bringing together technical institutions. So that is on PAL sides. For students, I want to state a Tirukural, எய்தற் கரியது இயந்தக்கால் அந்நிலையே செய்தற்கரிய செயல். The man who utilizes all the resources and opportunities at hand is an efficient entrepreneur, and nothing is impossible to achieve for him or her. So that is what I want to conclude. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Brilliant words, sir. Shankar, sir, you want to give your closing remarks and inputs for pals?
Yeah, sure, sir. With pleasure. And actually, my best advice to the student entrepreneurs who are all want to become a startup, generally in anywhere we can see the very big mistake did by the students during their project work. Actually, whenever they are start to produce a new product for as a project work, they directly start with the design stage. Definitely, they will feel many tough. Actually, the new life cycle of any new product should be start from the customer requirement. So based on that only, they have to raise the specifications of the product, and then they have to go to the design stage. The same way, if you want to become a startup, if you want to become a leader in a business, or you want to become an entrepreneur, first you have to identify the market potential and about the market requirement. Based on that only, you have to equip yourself. See, without the expected knowledge and skill, starting an enterprise is danger. So entrepreneurship itself an unconventional approach should be an innovative approach. You have to be equip yourself first with acquiring enough knowledge and skill on entrepreneurship, then practice, then you will be your success will be a remarkable one. And for the institutions and other organizations, however, institutions are nowadays doing a better job by giving awareness on entrepreneurship by conducting a lot of camps and speaking programs. Still, the first generation entrepreneurs entry is highly risk. The enterprise dream of a first generation entrepreneur is possible only through the right incubation support from the institution. And in the same time, I want to add some points and request to the policies. Colleges nowadays are having potential to educate the entrepreneurship. But a student coming out with a commercially viable product as his project output, and he want to start a startup from that, then identifying the companies or the technology transfer process is somewhat tedious for the colleges as well as the startup entrepreneurs. So PALS needed to identify the issues of first generation entrepreneurs in deep, particularly region specific. In addition, PALS may support the institutions and the incubators to transfer the technology developed by the startup entrepreneur for assuring his sustainability after incubation. That's very important. So may the norms and policies of PALS may disseminate further well around the country for making people come forward to approach PALS. So this is what my points to add here, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Professor Shankar. Last but not the least, Professor Badri.
Yes, sir. I would like to conclude by saying 2-3 things. One is, no idea is a bad idea. All students out here, please don't wait. This is the right time. You have a good idea. It is going to be great. Give a go. At the end of it, you have either of these two, either a success or a lesson learned. There is nothing like a failure. If the fear of failure is holding you back, There is nothing like a failure, it's only a learning. So give it a go, don't delay your thought process. My request to Pulse is like, if the phenomenal work which Pulse is doing by bringing all these participant institutions together, if we can create a search facility to locate a mentor, to locate a facility among the partner institutions as a query box or a search option in your Pulse site, that would be great, because you have all our information with you. So we'll be happy to provide some more information from our institution side. So if you can connect all of us on a common platform, a student who is a member of a Pulse institution can go to your website and find some help, what's happening, connect with other students from other campuses. So this can become a movement. One last thing to all the students here is like, I would say, in this relay race of this globe, your generation has this major responsibility to take this country to a next level in this digital era. So please don't hesitate. It is in 1940s, if it was the fight for independence, now it is the fight for your space in this digital world. So please do take this up as your generational responsibility. We are all here to provide whatever kind of support to you, so that you will be able to pass this baton to the next generation with pride. Thank you.
Thank you, Badri, for tremendous inputs. And I know I have to hand over to Arun Dev for the vote of thanks, but this has been a great panel, and a lot of learnings for me in terms of various incubators available in the state. I was not aware of some of them. Great to hear a lot of success stories coming out of these incubators and e-cells. Great to hear about the fact that many incubators are actually open to students from across institutions. A lot of opportunities for cross-learning because similar ideas come from everywhere. Creating a platform, I think that's a great idea. And the funding and mentorship, they're actually not difficult nowadays. Contrary to many years ago when funding was a big issue, funding is actually one of the easier things now, both as institutional funding and angel funding, or individual investors putting in the money. So as Professor Badri said, I think the time is just right for everyone to evolve themselves. Of course, as Raghu threw that caution on the winds, it is a long haul. Obviously, anything in life is a long haul. Nothing is a short term. Even a career as a management professional is made out of many years. So anything is going to be a long haul. So this is not an overnight thing. And of course, the grassroots level problems needing grassroots level solutions, like the one that what RUTAG is articulating, and what HTIC and some of the colleges from down south. I think that is a great opportunity, especially for students in the state. So with that, I will close the panel. Thank you, a big thank you for all of you, Badri, Pandian, Shankar, Muthu, Raghu, Rama, and Abhijit. I'm using all first names because it's much easier that way, but all prefix with the professor. So great to have you guys as part of this panel. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you for sparing your valuable time with us this Saturday afternoon. With that, let me hand over to Arun for a formal vote of thanks.
Arun, you have to unmute your video, audio, sorry.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Mohan. That was an enthralling session. I think there were so many takeaways for everybody on that session, as Mohan sort of recounted at the end. It's my pleasure to present the valediction for this event. I'd like to thank Kalamelo for sort of giving the introduction at both PALS and including the induction of the V-Lab, which has been a very big initiative of PALS this year and has been widely accepted by our partner institutes. Dr. Thanga Meghanathan, thank you for your speech, where you emphasize that innovation has to be an idea which is doing something better, or it addresses something in terms of cost. I also liked that particular reference to the Indian innovation about miscall. I readily relate to that particular innovation. We had the prize distribution ceremony for the ROOTAG projects that were awarded earlier in May 2020. Thank you, Ms. Vijayalakshmi and Professor Abhijit Deshpande. Congratulations to the colleges Rajalakshmi, MAMSET and RAMCO. I like the emphasis that was made there about the interdisciplinary nature of engineering, the way it is evolving in industry, and also the important step about customer discovery, that each of these three projects that have been awarded funds from the PALS initiative. Going forward, when it came down to the detailed discussions, I would like to thank Mr. Raghunandan from MCRC, who sort of emphasized the focus on local people addressing local needs and local population. Also, the emphasis on open source rather than patenting IP rights, monetizing IP rights. Thank you, Mr. Muthu Singaram, for the emphasis on healthcare and the accessibility, where the emphasis is on accessibility and affordability, and also the focus is on instrumentation rather than pharma. So this opens up a whole lot of opportunities for engineers to look at healthcare as an opportunity. The big takeaway from Professor Abhijit Deshpande today was, of course, his emphasis that there will be failures and there is a learning process. All entrepreneurial activities is not about success. It's also about learning. It's about pivoting. It's about taking the environment and looking at opportunities every now and then. I'd like to thank the four college representatives, Dr. Rama Vaidyanathan, Dr. Badrinathan, Dr. Aish Shankar and Pandyan. It was very interesting to see the various initiatives that you have taken in each of your colleges, as well as the success stories that you have shared with us, particularly Dr. Pandyan talking about the simple device which holds the banana trees from against heavy winds. So for all of us, this opens up a whole list of ideas that we can think about, particularly across the board. And I hope this has been a very useful session for all the students and faculty who have logged in and have been with us right through the session. Once again, a thank you to all our participants, our keynote speaker, as well as the expert panel who participated here, as well as Mo Narayan, who sort of set the ball rolling with a lot of statistics on patents. But I like the quick rejoinder that Mr. Raghunandan said about saying that it's not always important to monetize your IP rights. So thank you everyone who has contributed to this, the PALS PMO for organizing this event. And I hope we look forward to a lot more entrepreneurs from this side of from the South India who will be able to contribute for the forward movement of the country, Atmanirbhar. Thank you.
Thank you, Arundev. Thank you to all the panelists. The feedback link is posted in the chat box. I would request all the participants to kindly give your feedback. Your feedback is what keeps us, on a continuous path for improvement. So all the panelists, thank you all. See you again in the next session anytime soon. Thank you, Mohan. Thank you, Mohan.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Pleasure being part of this panel.
Thank you.
Good day, sir.
Thank you.
I request all participants, take few more minutes to give your feedback. Your attendance and the feedback that you record will have, will include you in the attendance certificate. Thanks to all those who posted questions. I hope it got answered. If there are any follow-on, please kindly mail it to us. Yes, Dr. Shankar, you may. You may.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Shankar.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Badrinath.